It is do or die today for German Marquez. We are watching closely, German, as we welcome you into Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports talk station. 97.3 The Fan. A happy Tuesday to you. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby, together in the Odyssey Palace Studios. Brought to you by our friends at Bill Howe, where we know how. And Skraby, if he was ever going to pitch a good ball game, today would be the day for German Marquez, because I don't know. I don't believe anybody gave him an ultimatum, but I gave him an ultimatum. When you're coming into your fourth start of the spring with an ERA upwards of 13 and you're trying to make the ball club, it would behoove you to pitch well today. I would say the results have been mixed so far for Marquez. He gave up a solo home run to Luke Raley, the third batter of the game for the Mariners. He also gave a solo home run up to Colt Emerson, who is, I believe, the backup shortstop for the Mariners. However, in 3 innings, Marquez has struck out 6 and walked none. So he's obviously got some pretty good stuff today and showing a little bit about what he can do. The 2 home runs, a little concerning, of course, but we'll see how he fares. He's gone through 3 innings right now. Padres and Mariners are tied 2-2. Xander Bogaerts and Gavin Sheets have gone yard for the Friars.
Back to back, baby.
And, of course, this is the old, Eddie Vedder Cup matchup there at Peoria between the Mariners and the Padres. So nobody had to travel today. And except for Tony Gwynn Jr., he's traveling. He's going to be heading to actually San Diego. You might catch a glimpse of him driving around somewhere tonight. He's going to be getting, because tomorrow's an off day for the Padres.
Yes.
I don't blame Tony. He hasn't seen his family in a month. And so he'll be coming back here.
I don't see my family for months at a time.
And that's the way you want it. There's a slight difference.
You're right.
Slight difference. You're actually rooting for that to be the case.
It's funny how
my
as
friend.
A kid, I loved going to family events. And as I got older, I stopped liking going to family
one of the
events.
the oldest lines in the book, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family.
I love my family, but
I do too. I love your family too, but
you do?
luckily I don't have to hang out with them. No, everybody's does their best. I know that, my wife and her sister are a bit oil and water, and I wish they weren't, but they are.
Happens.
And it does. I'd like to see them figure it out. You only get one lifetime, and you get, in my wife's case, one sister.
Yeah.
I will say, for my wife's defense, if she's listening right now, she's done everything she can do, at least from my perspective. Sister doesn't, it's, relationships have to go both ways, but
yeah,
it does seem. Go ahead.
I'll just say, like, my brother and I, this is where our relationship was. He kicked me out of the house I was living in with him because I was a drunk. So we're now good.
He was actually trying to help you, most likely.
It took me 10 years to get
figure
to
that
this
out.
place.
Yeah, to figure that out. Look, I don't think my wife and her sister are any different than probably just about every other family out there. There's somebody somewhere that you don't get along with.
Absolutely.
Or somebody somewhere that you'd rather them not be your cousin, or whatever the case might be.
Totally.
And so, onward and upward we move along here. But, my advice is to try to figure out a way to bury a hatchet if you can, because in the long run, like I said, you're only going to get one crack at this thing. So
it's good advice.
Might as well try to make it work. All right, so we'll be keeping a close eye on the Padres today. German Marquez, like I said, no ultimatum was given, but as the Chris Ello ultimatum was given, I need to see something today. And 6 strikeouts in 3 innings, that makes me feel a little bit better.
I woke up thinking the same thing. Like, this is a make it or break it for German Marquez. But the more I thought about it, driving down here, I convinced myself that he's going to be on the opening day roster regardless of what happens.
It's a pretty good chance
today.
He's going to be,
because he's already on the 40-man.
Yeah.
And I know that can be moved and fixed and all this other stuff, but that means that you are now jettisoning him from
If
the
they
system.
take him off the 40-man roster, he's
off the team.
He's either, and he's honestly, somebody else will give him a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was an all-star pitcher, and when you can be an all-star pitcher for the Rockies, there's something. You have something.
Yes.
And I think the Padres are still hoping that they'll be able to find that out of German Marquez, and maybe today is the day that, he's able to take a big step forward. We'll keep an eye on that. I saw a good story today in the paper if you're interested in these kinds of things, because I know nobody gets the paper except for me. So I'm the one who has to kind of alert everybody to this stuff. But I believe it was Kevin wrote a nice story about Jose Miranda.
Ah, yes, I read it.
Trying to make this ball club. And there was a statistic in there that I did not know. And you know me, I know every one of these things.
Everything.
The all-time record in the history of Major League Baseball. That's going back a few years.
Yeah.
Most consecutive at-bats with a hit is 12 in a row. And one of the guys who holds that record is Jose Miranda.
Yes.
Of all people. So
I think you should ask him this when we go out to spring training, because that's incredible.
He sounds like the kind of guy that they'll give us for an interview. So we will be there.
Yeah, I got to ask him this now.
Well, of course you do. We'll have him and others on Thursday and Friday. Our shows will be live from Peoria. So make a note to be with us here at the end of the week, as we'll be making our yearly appearance down there. I'm actually leaving tomorrow. I'll be sitting in an empty Padre complex tomorrow because they're off. But I don't know. Did Tony ever jimmy the back door for me so I can sneak into the cafeteria? We'll have to find out when I get there.
Yeah, I think he didn't
seem to be too fired up about doing that.
He wasn't receptive
to helping me out on that one.
It's like the club that I've never been able to get into.
Isn't it weird? I mean, we're sitting there, and you know what?
And again, we're not complaining, because I don't want this to be taken as complaining, because we understand the rules. And
we also understand that not everybody out there gets free meals all the time. So we get that.
Yes.
But this will sound like a complaint. You and I have been sitting out there for how many years now? 8?
Yeah.
All right. Every spring training for 8 years. We go out there. We're there for 3 days, 4 days, whatever the case may be. Every time we're there, everybody's walking out into the yard where we sit, the little back patio, and just having a mess of breakfast. Smorgasbords of food.
Yeah.
You and I are the only two out there.
They're like, who are these guys?
All I'm saying is I don't think it's going to break the Zeigler Bank if somebody walked out and said, hey, you guys want a bite? Feel free. Help yourselves. It's the nice thing to do, is it
but
not?
Do they have enough for all of the players? Because there are a lot of players. Chris, there's over 100 players that have to eat when we're there.
Well, I don't know. I eat a lot. But you think the two of us are going to break it wide open to where when Miguel Andujar gets down there after his workout, they'll say, sorry, Miguel, we're out of food. Those two guys on the patio ate the rest of it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Again, we aren't paying for the food. So I know.
But you know what?
It just looks so delicious.
Of course it does, and the reason it looks so delicious is because we can't have it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And so anyway, we'll complain about it on Thursday and Friday when we're there, and maybe somebody will come out and say, "You guys look like you could use a bite. Why don't you come on in out of the cold, or in this case, out of the heat?
I was going to say,
and have yourself a little breakfast on us, Because I don't know. I will say this. My dad. Let's go back to family for a minute while we're at it. My dad was a lot of things, good, bad, in between.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I appreciated about my dad, and I know people are going to find this hard to believe because they think I'm a curmudgeon. My dad was very inclusive. And what I mean by that is if we were having a big picnic out at the park, and we had a ton of food and hot dogs and chips and whatever we had, he would go around and invite almost everybody who was sitting nearby.
Wow.
Hey, come on, have a hot dog. Have a hot dog. So that was kind of my dad's style. And a lot of people would say, no, but some people go, yeah, I'll have a hot dog. He was very inclusive that way.
That's very nice. I don't know that anyone has ever done that for me.
I think it's a really nice way to be. If you're watching the ball game and somebody's hey, come on in. Open door policy. So that was my dad's thing, for better or worse. So I feel like, I try to be like that, even though you all think I'm just the meanest guy. I never smile. I'm the meanest guy. I'm a curmudgeon.
It's true.
But honestly, I'm pretty inclusive, believe it or not, in the right situation.
Because I am not. Like, I am someone who's very friendly. but I'm a natural hermit. So I always think about things in solo terms.
Yeah,
you always think about things as a group, which I
feel
think
like
is
everybody
much
should get in on it if I can get in on it. So, anyway.
Thomas Andrews just texted me calling this breakfast gate. We're not. We're just giving behind the scenes.
We're giving you guys a little behind the scenes, but it is pretty funny. Like Tony has told us, and this is part of the humor of all of this. Like, because at the very beginning, 5-6 years ago, we go, "What's in there?" Because it's like a shrouded window
with a bouncer.
There's no bouncer, but it doesn't look approachable. But everyone goes in and out, and the people go in, they come out with a bunch of food. So we always go, "Wow, what's in there?" And Tony's like, "Don't you guys worry about it. You're not allowed." Like, not Tony's decision.
Yeah.
That's just the way this is. This is the San Diego Padres, and the only people eating in there are San Diego Padres. Fair
enough.
And you guys don't qualify, so don't worry about it.
I'm going to wear my Padres sweatshirt there so that I can
see if you can't sneak in and grab a bite.
I remember one time I was like, "Tony, I am starving. Can you please help me?" He went inside and he got me like the
What, he get you an apple?
But he pulled it out of his pocket like it was a drug deal.
Right. Yes, he had just made away. He was the Alabama second leading scorer going in there trying to escape authorities.
Frank has a great question we're gonna have to watch out for. Which player has the most food on their plate? I'm gonna keep an eye on that. It's mostly like the minor league guys, the rookie ball guys.
That's an answer. There's your answer, Frank. The answer is the guys that don't make the money.
Yeah.
They have the most food.
Yes.
That's an easy
answer. They're younger and they're working out.
They don't know where their next meal's coming from.
Katrina said you were very nice when you met her. So
I'm actually surprisingly not that bad. I did have somebody at our softball game say to me last week, and I hate hearing this, but I can't argue it. The guy said, "Watch you on the YouTube all the time. My wife says you never smile." I just hate. I'm smiling right now.
I know you laugh. I mean,
I don't know where I get that. I don't totally know where I get that reputation from, that I don't look like I'm having fun. But I have heard it so many times that I must give that, that vibe off.
I'm going to give you some tape and wires so that you
tape
can
my mouth shut.
So you can tape it into a smile.
Tape it open. All you have to do is shoot the whatever type of substance into my cheeks that Demi Moore has shot into her cheeks. The actress Demi Moore, I don't know if
filler or something.
Whatever they fill. Yeah, they fill her. Demi Moore is about 50, 60 years old. Beautiful woman, actress. If you see her like at the Oscars or anywhere, she now has her mouth is just into a 100% of the time smile. She can't even move. She's had so much of that stuff done. Ugh. Kind of gives me the willies.
What movie was that
she was in?
Yeah, that we didn't like.
She was in a movie called The Substance.
That's right. We did like it, but
we liked it till the last 20 minutes when it got ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Demi Moore's been around for a long, long time. She's a great actress. She was in, famously in, I think, A Few Good Men.
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane.
There's another movie I'm thinking of from my childhood.
Well, she was in some rom-coms that were quite good. The one that was particularly good was And About Last Night. Anyway, she's been in some great movies. Actually started her career, here's Demi Moore stuff, on General Hospital as on a soap opera. So that was one of her first things. She was married to Bruce Willis forever and ever and ever. So
do they have Rumor?
But she's had too much. Yeah, Rumor is one of their daughters. But she's had too much work done around too much shots in the side there in the mouth.
Please,
it looks terrible.
It doesn't. You don't need to do that.
But you know what it is? You know how we got upset at Mark DeRosa for not knowing the rules because nobody told him, "Hey, Mark, you got to win this game." Kind of the same thing with Demi Moore. Like, where's a friend to go, Demi, enough? Like, no more shots.
Maybe they have been saying
It's not looking good.
Maybe they have been saying
she just gets them anyway.
Rod also mentioned Ghost. We should not forget
that's a famous one. Thank you,
Ron. That
Very
movie
good.
was
famous
like, what,
movie.
1989 or something like that?
I say it's been a while ago, but
I remember my parents watching that, and it freaked me out.
I think it's a little freaky.
I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, he's not really there, but he's there.
And it freaked me out.
Yeah, Demi Moore's had a pretty good career, but the mouth, not looking good these days. All right, we're going to Mark Zeigler will be on. Mark Zeigler will be on with us in the 3:00 hour. We got to have Mark on for a couple of reasons. One, don't know if you saw this, but Snapdragon Stadium, if it wasn't already, is going to be the soccer capital of the world for the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that it was one of the sites. We didn't know that it was going to be like the main site. More games are going to be played apparently at Snapdragon than any other arena or edifice during the Olympics next year. So, a lot of soccer coming down here. Mark wrote a story about that today. So we're going to find out about that. But I also want to find out what he thinks is going to happen with the Aztec basketball team, because it's all up in the air.
There's so many rumors coming out.
Right. Who's going to leave? Who's going to stay? Is anyone going to stay? There's a lot of stuff to try to decipher with him. And with the NCAA tournament out, it actually starts tonight with some of the first couple of games tonight. Skraby and I are not going to do this was Skraby's idea, and I liked it.
Oh.
So this happens about
let me get our text from this morning, because it's a good moment for us.
This happens about once a year, where Skraby comes up with an idea, and I say, that's a good idea.
Yeah, he goes, smart. I like it. And I said, did we just agree? It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but Skraby goes, instead of like going through every game like everybody else does, I'll take Duke to win. Skraby and I have decided we're going to just pick our 5 favorite first-round games.
Mm-hmm.
And each of us will pick 5. We don't know who the other one's picking.
Correct.
But our 5 favorite first-round games, and we'll talk about who's going to win those. Okay. So give you something to look forward to. That's coming up in this hour. Zeigler, 3 o'clock hour, Daily Gambit, Chris First, the Fans, Big 5. Coming up on USA versus Venezuela for the championship tonight.
Nolan McLean starting, and I'm not a fan of this. I know that there's a bunch of different factors among teams and availabilities, but
I mean, you're coming up on the biggest game in the history of the universe, and you're pitching a guy with 10 games of major league experience?
He already got rocked in the World Baseball Classic. Andy came in with vertigo. Maybe it's his only option.
I will say this. He was unhittable last year when he came up with the Mets, but we'll see how he does tonight. Eduardo Rodriguez, a veteran lefty, is going to pitch for Venezuela with the title on the line. So a lot to do. We're happy to be here. I promise I will smile throughout the show.
Look at that smile, everybody.
Something, isn't it? Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. There you go. We got it out of the way. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Really is, I know there's a lot of people of Irish descent out there. To all of you.
About that.
But to all of you, I wish happy St. Patrick's Day. The rest of us, just another reason for you to go out and drink tonight. That is what this is all about. So just understand that, really. Although when you were in third grade, it was a pretty big deal if you weren't wearing green.
It's actually really scarred me, because when I realized on the way here that I wasn't wearing green for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake.
No, you're safe. I think you're pretty safe here.
Adam's wearing the greenest green shirt.
Adam's not taking any chances today. Wow.
The pinching thing was a deal.
Oh, and then you go pinch somebody and they go, hang on. Yeah. I got a stripe of green on the inside band of my underwear. And you're like, you know what? I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. So anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day. We got that in for you. But you know what? Try to take it a little easy. I know that you're supposed to drink and fall down and run into walls. You don't have but to, you're though. Really not. You're really not. Yeah, you just come on. Enough already. Leave that to the professionals. The professionals of age. All right. Padres, German Marquez are watching this very closely. He's in the fifth inning. He's got a 2-2 tie. He's facing Emerson, the backup shortstop, who had earlier homered. And Marquez throws the ball in the outside corner. They call it a ball. Catcher challenges it. They look at it. They change it. It's a strike. 2 pitches later, Marquez strikes this guy out on a 3-2 pitch at the knees, right at the knees. Guy rings him up. Batter challenges it. They look at it. 0.6 of an inch low. Is that what this is for? And so the guy got a walk, and he comes around and scores on a double, and now it's 3-2 Seattle. I know there's many of you out there who go, yes, the call should be right. I just don't know if we have to be that accurate. It couldn't have, like an inch. It wasn't even an inch off the plate.
I know.
This is not what it's for, but I'm going to complain about this system probably all year long.
Let me actually do this then. Would you be okay with this? I was thinking about how to make you okay with this.
Okay.
Would you be okay if you only could challenge between the 7th through the 9th inning when it matters a lot? And I brought this up to Adam, and Adam immediately said, well, what about bases loaded at bat in the second
fourth inning? Here's what I'm going to say. I wouldn't totally be okay with your idea, although you're getting closer. I think the idea needs to be 1 challenge per game. And as soon as you're wrong, you're done, because there's no way that batter here in the 5th inning of a tie game would have challenged a pitch that close, because he was risking their only challenge of the game. When you have 2, to me, you got a free one to use the entire game, and teams are going to just use it over and over and over and over and over again until they're wrong.
You're very worried about this over and over again.
I just saw it 3 times in the last 5 pitches.
This is a big spring training thing.
Understood.
People are still trying to figure it out.
We'll see.
And again, okay. I will sit here with both my feet on the ground and say Chris was right about the ridiculous challenges, if that indeed does happen.
Well, my rule would take away the ridiculous challenge. If it was 1 per game, teams would rate for the opportune moment to use it.
See, someone or Cole in the chat said it's literally exactly what it's for. When you're talking about it, I understand what you're saying. When you say 0.6 of an inch, is that really something that is... That's
needs to be overturned.
It was designed to overturn an egregious call.
Yes.
And so now guys are challenging, hoping that they get on base. That's your issue.
That's my issue, and that will not be the case if they only gave him 1 challenge.
I agree. I think 1 challenge is fine.
Okay, we'll see where it goes. But, I will say this. I was complained about every other new rule and when they came in, and I end up liking almost every new rule. So probably I'll end up liking this. Before we go to the first break and then
second break.
Or the second break, because we could take a look at the NCAA stuff coming up. I think the Dolphins finally made what I consider to be one of the best trades they've made in a long, long, long time. And this isn't about the Dolphins, a big enough story to talk about. But trading Jalen Waddle to the Broncos and getting in return, Skrabe, a 1st, a 3rd, and a 4th. I just think that's highway robbery. I know that the Broncos need a, quote, big play receiver. I'm here to tell the Broncos, though, I've watched this guy every game. He is flashy and spectacular at times. But if you are a Bronco fan, mark my words.
He's looking into the camera.
He will drop a pass that will cost you a game at least once, maybe more next season.
At least once a year?
That's Jalen Waddle's way. And, he makes the spectacular play to help you maybe win a game. But in the NFL, you can't be dropping a ball that costs you a game. You can't. Because the difference between winning a division and, missing the wild card can be one game. I think this is a great trade. Finally, Miami gets rid of the shiny object instead of acquiring the shiny object. I think that's a step in the right direction. I don't know what you think about the trade. You're not either team's fan.
No,
so you can look
but
at
I
it
think
more.
it piqued my interest because Bo Nix with a guy like Jalen Waddle is interesting to me.
Yeah, sure he is.
And maybe being in a place where it's not Club Med, he's playing for a coach now that is very serious.
Yeah,
and
maybe
Sean
when
Payton,
he drops the ball to lose a game, maybe Sean Payton will sit him down.
Yeah, it could
so
be.
It may change things.
I like this move, and I like it for the Dolphins. The Dolphins are doing everything right now. They just need to make sure they make the right draft picks.
Yeah, they got to. Right, getting a first, a third, and a fourth is no good if all three picks are terrible.
Yeah,
you gotta win on the picks.
And he also had Tua. So how much does that factor into?
Well, I don't know. He had the
Waddle?
most accurate passer in the league for a couple of years. The last 2 years, he averages 50 yards a game. That's it. And now that part of that was the old Mike McDaniel screenplay, where you don't even go down
Sean
the
Payton
field.
has those in there too.
Well, anyway, I think you're right. The Broncos need a guy like this. But I'm warning the Bronco fans because I've seen Waddle, and I love Waddle. I have a signed Waddle helmet that Connor gave me.
I didn't realize
my godson. Yeah, he gave me a Dolphin helmet signed by Jalen Waddle. I have it. Probably going to give it back to Connor now because he's a Bronco fan, so he can have it. But no, the guys, at the wrong moment has cost them. And it sticks in my mind. So anyway, that's the big NFL trade of the day.
You had front row seat for it.
I feel like I did. I watched most of the games. You know that. A couple of other signings, but nothing that big. I think Hollywood Brown went to the Eagles today, so I'll give you that one. All right, we're going to take a break. The NCAA tournament. Get your brackets out. We're not going to pick all the games, but Skraby's Big Five, top 5 games of the first round, my top 5 games of the first round, what games you should zone in on and who you should pick when we come back on Gwynn and Chris.
The biggest guests in San Diego sports talk appear on 97.3 The Fan.
Christopher McDonald.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here, don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole, nice smooth delivery, hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some. YouTube, you ready? There you go.
That was something.
I know. For those driving, like wondering what went on, I
He
smiled.
looked like
For all the people who think
Joaquin
that
Phoenix in the Joker.
a little bit, yeah, it's a little scary. For those people who think I don't smile ever, Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. No Gwynn today. Crisello, Matt Skraby from the Odyssey Palace Studios here in San Diego. That won't be the case tomorrow. I will be heading out to Peoria, and we will do the show. I will do the show. I'll be there tomorrow. And then Skraby will join me, and Tony will be there. And Thursday and Friday are live shows from Peoria with all of the Padre players and interviews and all of the fun of Skraby and I trying to break our way into the cafeteria. See if we can get away with it. All right, quick update. We were watching very closely German Marquez today. His outing is over. As I said, mixed bag for Marquez. 5 innings. He only gave up 3 hits, but 2 of them were home runs. He walked 1. The one walk he had was by 0.6 of an inch, we came to find out, because the guy challenged the call on the ABS system. But I think the best, the thing of all, look, 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. That's throwing some gas and obviously having some pretty good stuff. So maybe the Marquez thing isn't all, over yet.
ERA for him falls to 9.26 this spring. Interestingly, Matt Waldron, he of the hemorrhoid disabled list.
Poor guy.
Poor guy is back out there. He's pitching right now in the 6th inning. He gave up a ground ball single, and then with 2 outs, he gave up one of those little sawed-off floaters over the infield. So Waldron has given up a run as well. 4-2 Mariners lead the Padres. Bogarts, Sheets went back-to-back, belly-to-belly in the 2nd inning for the Padres, 2 runs. So you're up to date there. Big doings tonight, of course. United States, Venezuela for the World Baseball Classic title. Aaron Judge saying today the World Baseball Classic is a bigger deal than the World Series.
All right, he's taking it too far now. I can
he's been to what? How many? 1 World Series? He lost it with he helped lose it, by the way, by dropping that fly ball. The World Series has just a tad more tradition than the World Baseball Classic.
I think he's living in the moment right now.
I think he's in the moment too. I don't know that you can say that. I get where he might be coming from. After all the other countries are involved, but no, World Series got to take the nod.
Maybe at 320 or 420. I wanted to talk about Julio Rodriguez saying that. He said that the World Baseball Classic, he wants to win that more than the World Series, and then Mariners fans freaked out because it's like, what is this guy playing for then?
I get it though for the guys from other countries. I think bigger deal for them.
Me too.
I do. I think U.S. players want to win it.
It's not going to kill them though if they lose it.
I mean, how much national pride is there tonight compared to whatever national pride might be going on in Venezuela tonight?
It's not going to compare.
I don't think it compares. Let's try to stay out of the politics of it. But U.S. Venezuela
is very strange.
It's very strange as well.
These things keep coming up, and they're so weird.
Yes, when you consider what's gone on in that part of the world.
Did you see that all of the baseball players wore, I think it was the jerseys of Team USA Hockey? Or they wore some sort of sweater from Team USA.
Our guys?
Yeah, they walked in with the hockey stuff on.
Okay.
So they're trying to channel the hockey as well.
Channel a little of that mojo. All right. Along with that tonight, we got the first couple of games in the NCAA tournament, and I'm waiting for my yearly tweet from Ben Higgins. He may have already sent it out, but every year around this time, Ben Higgins sends out what I always find to be kind of a funny tweet, and it always goes something like this. It's that time of year again where we have to relearn where the hell True TV is on our cable system.
Still don't know.
Because none of us watch it all year, and then the games are on True TV tonight. So you'll have to find them. Usually Ben sends that out. Maybe you already did, Ben, and I haven't seen it, but I always get a good laugh out of that. Yes, tonight you'll have to find True TV to watch the first game, by the way. Howard, not just Howard, but the university, Howard University, taking on Maryland, Baltimore County. Now, they're a very famous team.
Yes, they are.
In the NCAA tournament. They were the first team ever as a 16 to beat a 1 seed when they knocked off Virginia many years ago. And then the second game tonight will be Texas against NC State. So get your brackets out. Skraby and I are going to do our 5 first-round games to watch.
Yes.
You got a little NCAA basketball music?
I don't even know what NCAA basketball music is.
Well, I think it's dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I'm trying not to.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Everybody are bad influences on the station because I'm trying not to get in trouble for copyright.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But you know what? If I could find something, I'll go with it.
What the hell, you know? All right, so we're going to, instead of picking every single game, because that can get a little monotonous, Skraby and I thought each of us would choose 5 games, first round, to focus in on and to discuss. So I'll start, Skraby, while you're seeing if you can find some background music there.
There it is.
There it is. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Get the ball tipped off. Let's go. Oh, man, I love it.
I'll thank Frank for this.
That away, Frank. Thank you. All right, so first game that I'm going to tell everybody to keep an eye on is one of the games that's going to be played here tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, Friday at Viejas Arena. I think this is going to be a little more interesting game than people think, and that is number 4 Kansas taking on number 13 Cal Baptist. And you're out there going, Cal Baptist, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
All right, well, first of all, they're in Riverside. I've been there. The Aztec women have played up there before. They're in the WAC. They have a guy that scores about 27 a game, and he can light it up. And he had, I think, 40 in one of the big games they had down the stretch to help them win the tournament. So Kansas going to have to deal with him. Kansas going to be bigger and stronger and all of those things. But the one thing Kansas has is this, what's the guy's name? Peterson, who sits out of every game.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden he says he's kind of healthy. I don't like the vibe with Kansas this year. There's something wrong with the vibe. Cal Baptist could give them a whale of a game. Also keep in mind, Cal Baptist has taken a 100-mile bus ride down here as opposed to flying out, not all thing. I just think it bodes well for I'm not going to say I'm going to pick Cal Baptist. I'm just saying I think it's a game to keep an eye on. I do like the dichotomy for Cal Baptist, their first ever NCAA tournament game. For Kansas, they're 166th.
Doesn't mean anything to them.
Doesn't mean anything. Anyway, that's my first game to keep an eye on here at Viejas on Friday. Cal Baptist, Kansas matchup.
We're not doing this in any particular order, are we?
No, you just pick one. Yeah. What you
Here's
got next?
the first one I'm going to be watching is it could be over before Friday or Thursday. I want to see what Miami of Ohio does when they get into the tournament.
Tomorrow night.
So they have to win that game against SMU to get in. It's a playing game, but I'm looking forward to seeing Miami of Ohio in the tournament, and I just want them to at least go a couple rounds just to shut everyone up who's been saying how
Wouldn't
bad
it be wonderful?
they are.
Wouldn't it be wonderful? Well, they'd be doing it for all of us.
Yeah.
There is, for everybody who's a fan of, anything but the powerhouse major conferences, Miami of Ohio is that representing that.
Yes.
And they're taking on SMU, a team that I just don't think should be in. They're 11th place in their league. For some reason, there's no rule you can put in, but consider that. There was 10 teams that finished ahead of them. That doesn't sound like a tournament deserving situation to me.
I'm really hoping Miami of Ohio does not lose this game tomorrow night because everybody was right.
Oh, everybody will say, oh, we told you so. By the way, the odds makers don't believe in Miami, Ohio. I think it's a 7-point spread in favor of SMU. All right, my second game to keep an eye on is another 13 versus 4 matchup. I don't know why these have caught my eye, but this one has. It is in the South region between Nebraska and Troy. Here's the reason.
We can team up because I have this one too.
Okay, well, look, we understand what Troy is. They came out here and they beat the Aztecs. And I know the Aztecs it's not the greatest, but winning at Viejas Arena for anybody is not easy. Utah State didn't win here. New Mexico didn't win here. Grand Canyon did, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most teams come to Viejas Arena and get whooped. Troy not only won, they won in double overtime, and they survived the Aztecs hitting a half-court shot to tie the game. Yet Troy still won. And then to prove it was no fluke, 2 nights later they went to USC and went to triple overtime up there. Troy has obviously got something on this club, and they go on to win the Sun Belt Conference. Meanwhile, Nebraska, this is almost impossible to believe. We're talking about Nebraska, a legit, how many time national champion in football, everything else. Nebraska has never won a tournament game.
I saw that this morning. That's crazy.
It's crazy. You got to keep an eye on that game. Can Nebraska finally break through? But I think Troy's got every shot in the world. So
every time I saw Nebraska play this year, or at least paid attention to one of their games, it wasn't a great game for them. So every time I've seen them this year, they have lost.
They have a decent resume, but I think one of their best games of the year was a loss to Michigan where they didn't have their leading scorer. They kept it close. So Nebraska's obviously good, but they've never won one before. So, all right. So both of us will use that as our second one. Do we get a home run? No. Oh, Castellanos.
Yeah.
Castellanos. Home run for old Nicky C.
I like to see that.
We all like to see that. Padre game. We'll keep you up to date. All right. So that was both our number 2s.
Yes.
So we'll go on to number 3. You go first on your third one.
My number 3 is actually, it's an 11 over a 6.
Okay.
In the South region. North Carolina lost their best player when he broke his thumb. He's going to be out.
Yeah.
I don't get a good feel from North Carolina.
A lot of people don't. VCU.
All the articles of who's going to be the upset team or Cinderella team? VCU has mentioned a lot of articles, so I'm going to pay attention to VCU North Carolina. I think that's going to mess up a lot of brackets.
You're saying that's a possible upset call. Do you know what VCU stands for?
Virginia Commonwealth University.
Very good. Very good. VCU, which went to the Final Four under Shaka Smart.
That's how I know him.
Back in the day. That's how everybody knows Virginia Commonwealth. You know, the funny thing, we talk about sports and it doesn't mean anything, and I get it. You know, it's the fun department. But how many of these schools would you have never heard of if it wasn't for sports?
Like
none of them.
75% of
right.
schools.
Sports is what puts these schools on the map.
Like, let's see, Queens College or Queens University.
You don't know much about them. How about Cal Baptist? How about Furman? Who the hell knows what Furman is?
What about High Point and last year Fairleigh Dickinson?
Kennesaw State.
It's ridiculous.
Right. I mean, the tournament, you know, sports put these guys on the map. All right, I like that one. VCU over North Carolina. I think a lot of people are picking that upset. You're not alone there. All right, my third one to keep an eye on is I'm not calling upset here. I think UCLA might be ready to make a little bit of a push here.
Man, we are on the same page.
Are we really? They're taking on UCF, Central Florida in the East. It's a 7-10 matchup. I don't know why, but Mick Cronin might just be, you know, crazy like a fox. I just have a weird feeling that this team, I mean, the guy kicked his own player out of the game and then got mad at people for mentioning it. Like, it was like, are you kidding me? He should have been fired practically. But Mick Cronin can coach for some reason. His guys respond to it. I think they can beat UCF. And don't look now, but they'd get UConn in the next game. And if there is a game in the second round that you have to see, it is Mick Cronin coaching against Dan Hurley.
That is very true.
What in the hell's going to happen there?
They're going to just fight.
Vince McMahon may have to referee that game.
I agree. Get The Rock out there. Get them all.
Get them all.
Get Mankind.
I don't know. Is it too late? Is The Undertaker still walking
with
amongst us? Yeah. Whoever we got, they're going to have to be there. I mean, Dan Hurley against Mick Cronin in the second round, I'm paying to see that one.
You know,
so
I should have known this morning when we agreed on how we're going to present this list that we were on the same page, because I have the same exact thing. I thought the same thing. Like throughout the year, is Mick Cronin just being hard on them in order to help them get through some of the NCAA tournament?
It's I don't know, man. This seems to be his time of year. It's going to be interesting. Now UCF could beat them. I don't know. They finished 8th in the Big 12 though, so I like UCLA there. I'll give you another one. Just I don't even know what number we're on right now. Do you have any others left?
I have one more.
One more. Okay, what do you got?
I'm going to go, and I'm going to be watching Utah State. It's a 9 versus 8 matchup in the West bracket. And that's played
here as well.
Okay.
That's in San Diego as well.
I think the Mountain West got screwed, and I think that Utah State has to, even though the Aztecs are leaving the Mountain West, I don't really feel bad, but the Utah State team has to carry the torch for the Mountain West and for all those teams.
If Utah State as a 9 seed, and I want to say this because you're right, they're kind of carrying our torch, even though we're not, in the Mountain West anymore.
I think people are more picking it because Villanova is a big name school. They're picking Villanova to win.
Sure, they are, because it's a Power 4, and Utah State is not a Power 4. Here's my deal. Utah State just never wins in the NCAA tournament. They lost as a 10 seed last year. They did win one game in 24, but then they lost. They were first round. I really want to see them win. And I think Jared Calhoun said it best. He said, now I'm trying to think of the word he used, and it was just flat out, just so much lack of respect for the entire conference to say that their champion team was only 9th seed. And he said as much. He said this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I think they're going to be highly motivated. So that's another good one. All right, I'll give you one more, and then I don't know if we ended up doing 5 or not.
I did my 5.
But here's the team that I'm giving you, and if you are a fan of this team, you're either happy that I'm bringing this up and they're getting a little flowers and some love, or you wish I didn't say it because I've been known to jinx teams.
Uh-oh.
But I am bullish on the 5th seed in the West, Wisconsin, making a run in this tournament. They could have beat Michigan the other day. They lost on a last-second shot. they did beat Michigan earlier this year. Wisconsin beat Illinois. People are picking Illinois to go to the Final Four. Why aren't you picking Wisconsin to go to the Final Four? They're as good as any team that I've seen, and they have a point guard who's already been to a Final Four, and that's Nick Boyd. He was there with Florida Atlantic, and he's scoring about 30 a game for them.
Yes, he is.
I like them. And now that I mentioned it, look out for them losing to High Point in the first round.
I like that one. That's a good one. I think Wisconsin's going to be good.
That's kind of my upset, to make a big run in the tournament. We'll see if it all comes true. Padres are slugging their way now in the Mariner game. Castellanos homered. Nick Solak again?
No, it's Ty France. He hit this one to the scoreboard.
Even better. Ty.
To the scoreboard.
Attaboy, Ty, to the moon. Padres lead 5-4. Daily Gambit's next.
There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer Jack Townsend is playing really well. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Skraby. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
So we are League 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! Ah. We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Skraby, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer Jack Townsend is playing really well. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Skraby. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are League 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie and I just hit my independence. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! Ah. We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after
It was a 5-footer.
after our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Skraby, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him. But we all had a good time. There's a Roadrunner. Meet. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec out here at the Aztec baseball tournament. It's the SDSU baseball alumni tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, so he's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So.
Basketball tournament preview. Later on in the show, we're not going to go through like every game because I agree. Skraby was the one who said, hey, this is monotonous to go through every game. So we gave you some games to keep an eye on. But I think later, just for fun, Skraby, we should reveal who you and I pick for our Final Four, just in case we should get lucky and, it should happen.
Yeah, the thing with me is I always pick it first time, and I'm like, I don't like this Final Four. It's too perfect. It's too good.
Well,
I need to find some other guys.
I'll give you your sheet back. You don't have to turn it in.
No,
yet.
it's fine.
You don't have to turn your sheet in.
I'm turning it in. I've turned it in.
Turning it in. All right. So we'll get back to the NCAA bracket stuff a little later. We got Mark Zeigler in this hour talking about teams that are not in the NCAA tournament, namely San Diego State Aztecs. In the meantime, while we were doing that segment, we mentioned Castellanos went yard. Not only did he go yard, hit it off of Andres Munoz, the closer of the Mariners. Those are the kind of things that catch your attention in spring training. Now, again, Munoz might just be grooving fastballs. I don't know, but it means a lot more to me to see him home run off their closer than it does, say, some, second-rate guy named Gene Mayer. By the way, that's who Ty France just homered off of, and Jace Bowen homered off of. Jace Bowen hit one to the top of the batter's eye in center field. Skraby, the ball bounced back off the batter's eye almost to second base. That's how hard he hit that ball.
It looked to me
unbelievable.
The center fielder was going back, and I thought he's stopping. Like, why is he stopping? And then it just fell, and I thought maybe the sun. No, he hit it so hard. It bounced back off the wall.
Right, it crashed off the top of the batter's eye, well over the yellow line, so it's a home run. But then it rolled back toward the infield, and it almost made it back to the infield. That's how hard Jace Bowen just hit one.
He's putting his name out there.
Ty France hit one to the top of the grassy knoll in left field. I said Gene Mayer. The guy's name is Gunnar Mayer. I was just making it up. I didn't know who he was. And I don't think we're going to get to know who he is the way he's serving him up. Padres lead 7-4 over the Mariners. We'll keep you apprised of what's going on in Peoria. But big home run day. Castellanos, Bogarts, Ty France, Gavin Sheets, and now Jace Bowen. What's that for Bowen? 5 spring home runs?
It might be 4.
All right. Well, he annihilated that one.
Yeah, it's his 4th.
Okay. Let's do some daily Gambit stuff. We got games tonight to talk about, and we had some games last night. Big win for the Lakers, I must admit. And LeBron had a good game again, so let's hear it.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault. It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Let's start with last night's game between Venezuela and Italy. Pretty good game. Italy ran out of gas.
Well, they got the 2-0 lead, and then they couldn't score.
No.
The bullpen of Venezuela shut them down. How did Venezuela score? I didn't see how they...
Ronald Acuna did something late in the game where he ended up tying it up, and it was just like chipping away type of
chip-away type of deal.
Yeah.
I did see the very end when Palencia, the Cub closer, came in and wiped him out there.
He annoys me so much.
He's not a big fan of his. Yeah, he's the guy. If he's on your team, you'd go. You like him.
He's the Juwan Jennings of the NFL or of the Major League Baseball.
He's a bit of a lunatic out
he
there.
He is more than just a little bit of a lunatic.
Yeah.
Also, Eugenio Suarez homered. I forgot about that.
Eugenio.
Yeah.
Hit a home run. Tonight, by the way, the matchup, Rodriguez, veteran lefty, currently pitches with the D-backs. 9-9 last year, ERA of about 5. But former 19-game winner, he'll pitch for the Venezuelans. And McLean, the young, still a rookie, I believe, for the Mets. I don't even know if he pitched enough last year to, get out of rookie status.
I don't think he has. And I don't understand, how does that guy make the team?
It is interesting that they went with a young guy named Nolan McLean who was absolutely lights out. I get it last year, but
there's better guys out there.
I mean, there's like Hall of Fame American pitchers out there that nobody asked.
Maybe
Jacob deGrom, is he not somebody you'd want?
Maybe he doesn't want to throw his arm out.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know. We don't know all the details, but yeah, how did Nolan McLean get there? There's a lot of other guys I would have thought of.
Don't go home after your 50 pitches, dude.
Well, if they lose tonight, then we can all blame Tarek Skubal, and we can go boo him on opening day.
Okay, that's a great idea.
He'll be here.
All right, Venezuela -1.5 on the run line against Italy. We both went Italy. Venezuela won 4-2. Over under 10 runs in the game. Chris went under. I went over. It was 6, so Chris wins that one. Houston -1.5 against the Lakers. Chris went Houston. I went Lakers. Lakers win 192,
and they extend their lead for third place in the West. I mean, the Lakers are really getting it done. There's a long line of Laker critics out there, not just, me, but people all over Baza. They don't guard anybody. They also have a lot of weapons, and they've been winning a lot of games. I think people don't want JJ Redick to be successful, and I don't think people want LeBron to be successful.
I can agree with the LeBron. I can agree with.
Yeah.
JJ Redick, I think what he's done is shown me that you don't have to have some crazy long history of coaching to be successful.
Not anymore.
And maybe he's a one-off type of guy where it works for him, but no one else. But I like JJ Redick.
Came from the broadcast booth, but you know who else came from the broadcast booth? Pat Riley. He was doing color on Laker games.
Oh,
next thing you know, he was in the Hall of Fame. So who knows?
All right. Clippers and Spurs. Spurs were 8.5-point favorites. Chris went Spurs. I went Clippers. Spurs won, but they didn't win by enough.
Backdoor cover, Skraby. This was all Spurs all night. And then the Clippers closed it at the end to beat the spread.
Luka -5 against KD. Who had more points?
Luka's unbelievable.
Luka had 36. Minus that 5, he had 31. KD only had 18. I went KD, you went Luka, so you win.
Luka is he's a freak when it comes to shooting the basketball. This guy, you got to give him what you give.
Parking cone, but
it would be nice if Luka would also make a basket just once without complaining. And I know, people, Tony will defend him because he's a Laker fan, but it really gets annoying.
Yeah.
You're such a great player. Just, it's not like he never gets to the line. He gets there.
It's so annoying.
How often does he go up for a shot and then this thing?
As he's laying on the ground as someone else is down the court
every
dunking.
time. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it.
Points plus rebounds plus assists. Wemby -10 or LeBron last night. We both went Wemby. Wemby had 21, 13, and 2. Minus that 10 is 26. LeBron had 18, 5, and 5. He had 28, so he wins.
LeBron wins it. Yeah.
Avs -1.5 against the Penguins last night. I went Avs. Chris went Penguins. Penguins won big time, 7-2. And then Kings -1.5 against the Rangers. We both went Rangers. Rangers win Wait, the Rangers won, right?
No,
the Kings won.
Kings were the win
4-1.
last
That's
night.
why it
4-1.
looked weird.
Good for the Los Angeles Kings.
Great. Kings again. Just
You never
ruining
get
my
it right.
day.
All right, here we go for tonight. We got the first game of the NCAA tournament. By the way, you were 2-6 last night.
Ugh.
I was no better, 3-5. Howard University 1.5 over Maryland, Baltimore County. The Retrievers.
Yes.
I don't know what Howard's nickname is, and I'm not really going to look it up. So, who you like, Skrabe? Seems like a real coin flip here.
I'm gonna
Hard to
go.
say.
I'm gonna go with the Retrievers because my dog is a golden retriever mix.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to take Howard. I think everyone is going to pick Maryland, Baltimore County because they recognize the name.
It's true.
But I think Howard maybe is a little better. North Carolina State -1 against Texas. That's a hard game because I don't care for Texas's coach anymore. He's the guy who used to coach Arizona. He's coached a ton of teams. What's his name?
Sean
Xavier
something? Oh.
Sean. Yeah, you know who I mean.
I don't know why. Let me
The
see.
guy annoys the hell out of me, and he's one of these Mick Cronin guys. Every time they lose a game, he gets up there and he talks about how terrible his team is.
Sean Miller.
Sean Miller, he got up there earlier this year and said, my guys don't care at all. They don't care. Like, really? This is what you want to get out in the public? I'll take Texas, though. I think they just have way more talent. So, but NC State's favored by 1.5.
I'll go with Texas as well. The Howard University, I thought it was this, but I had to check before I just blurted out the Bison.
You're correct. The Howard, I actually did know that.
Yeah.
Should have known that. All right, NC State, Texas, 158.5 points. That would be an 80-78 game.
That's a lot.
Higher or lower, Skrabe?
Lower.
Lower. I think that's under also. Tournament game, you got to guard somebody a little bit. All right, United States, Venezuela, 1.5 runs tonight for the World Baseball Classic title. Despite the shaky Nolan McLean, what I think might be shaky, I think the real difference in the game is Venezuela had to go 7 bullpen innings last night. How much do they have left? I'll take USA.
Okay.
1.5 runs.
Yeah, no, I don't know. There's something about this Venezuela team and what's going on in the world and just be there. I'm going to go USA.
9 runs tonight in that game. Over, under. Under. You know, the USA bats have been way too silent. It's time. When's the last? They scored like more than 5 runs since the first game. I mean, it's been pretty quiet.
I mean, yeah, they played Great Britain.
They
didn't blow out teams like Dominican Republic did.
Detroit in the NBA. I took over, by the way.
Okay.
19.5. That's the highest spread I've seen in the NBA this year. Pistons 19.5 at the Wizards. I bring up the Wizards because they have a guy on that team that I wonder how he feels about the world. And that is Trae Young.
Oh.
He leaves the Hawks. They've won 10 in a row. And he goes to the Wizards, and they just get mopped up every night. And Trae Young scores 27 with 10 assists, highlight reel plays. They show him on SportsCenter all the time. When do you finally get to a point where you'd like to win a game? I just don't know.
Didn't he ask to be traded to the Wizards?
I don't know.
Or he told them that he was okay with being traded there?
I just don't know what his thing is. To me, the ultimate goal should be to win. And he's about as far away from that now as he's ever been. And the Hawks are just way better now that he's not on that team. So
That's got to feel weird.
I'm going to take the Pistons after all that, even though I'm giving 19.5.
I saw the Wizards play defense last night against the Celtics, or whenever they played the Celtics recently.
They guarded somebody?
No, that's the thing.
Okay.
Chris, I'm not joking.
No, I know.
The Celtics guy went down the lane, and the Wizards just backed up.
They waved at him.
They just backed up, so I'm going to go Pistons as well.
One more. SGA, 31.5 points tonight at Orlando. The criticism of SGA is loud. I thought I was the only one last year. I'm not the only one now. Everyone that I see is critical of a guy who is one of the great scorers we've ever seen. but how much do they let him get away with? And is that taking away from his greatness? I think it is a little bit. Who do you like? Or what do you like here? Over, under?
Who are they playing?
Orlando on the road, 31 and a half.
Kind of good.
All right. What do you want?
I'll go over.
He gets over every single time. It is absolutely uncanny. Okay. You got to watch one of his games, though. I can't read what that says, but does it say 18?
Oh, yes. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I see it goes right through.
He, I got to really sit, I didn't watch him until last year in the playoffs, and that's when I went on my whole, SGA thing. That I mean, because I wanted to see him. I'm like, he scored 35 points a game. I got to see this guy. How does he do it? And then I watched the game, and I'm like, well, he pushes off every time he goes up for a shot. And, everyone argued with me, and I don't think I ever really got Tony to get on my side with that. I think you came over to my side a little bit watching it. I speak
the truth.
But now, I don't need to say it anymore. Everyone is seeing it. And I've seen so many plays now where he is, and this is true, he just dribbles the ball kind of into a guy and then creates some contact and then just throws his arms up, flips the ball somewhere in the direction of the basket, has no chance to go in, and they give him a foul. And so it's 2 points. That's not – I don't think you get 2 points for that, but the NBA does not want to ever give the defense the benefit of the doubt. So they don't.
See,
and guys like SGA take advantage of it. Now, here's the hypocrisy. Jaylen Brown of the Celtics was very critical.
He was, yes.
And then I watched him play. He does the same thing. They just go to the basket and flip the ball and bump into somebody. That's not basketball. That's not what – I don't know. It's just it's ugly.
Here's the thing.
It's embarrassing to the player's greatness because there's no question that SGA is a great scorer already, but he's taking away from it by doing all of this crap. And the NBA is the only thing that can stop it. They got to start calling it on him.
That's what I was about to say. This is the thing I don't get. If a lot of their fans and people are talking about the fact that there is push-offs on almost every SGA play, why doesn't Adam Silver care enough, or whoever's in charge of that, care enough to talk to the officials and say, hey, you got to look out for this,
yes,
and we want you to call it? Because that's how that's how people lose trust in your league, is when there's a clear foul all the time, and they're not calling it for one player. It seems like other players do it and they get called for it.
I saw our guy Windy, Brian Windhorse. Can you call him Windy?
Yes, Windy, yes.
All right. So I saw Windy, and he's talking about the play where Luka scored the winning basket against the Nuggets the other night. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can find it on YouTube and you'll know what I'm talking about. Luka pushes off and extends his arm, and the guy flies out of the picture. And then Luka hits the 15 shot and they win the game. And Brian Windhorst said, don't blame Luka. They don't want the refs to call that. They want to let that go.
I don't understand.
So it's not his fault. And until the league says, this is making our product look bad and cleans it up, it's going to continue. And so you can't blame the guys that are getting away with it. I know Jordan used to get all of his stuff, and he got the benefit of some calls. But I really don't remember Jordan just running into the pack and flipping the ball up. He was trying to make a move and score. Sometimes he didn't get hit, and they put him on the line. But what they're doing now is kind of embarrassing. I hate to tell you, and there's more than just SGA is guilty of it. It's hard to watch the NBA. If the officials call a couple of offensive fouls for pushing off, it'll stop. Guys don't want to foul out of the game.
Yeah, I think they need to.
It's not that hard.
At least when it's becoming a commentary about your league, you need to look into it.
It's everywhere I'm looking. Maybe I'm just seeing it more than most, but yeah, maybe you're. I don't know how many people watch the NBA anymore, but I kind of like the NBA basketball. I don't like to. Hear so much negativity surrounding these athletes. Some of them are incredible at what they do, but it's a bad look, I think. All right, Gwynn and Chris continues.
Rodolfo Duran hit a home run.
And he plays for the Padres too, I assume.
He does.
Yeah, everybody's been homering today. We'll come back, keep it rolling. Mark Zeigler soon on 97.3 The Fan. All right, quick segment here. Mark Zeigler on the other side. You Aztec basketball fans will want to hang around for that. We will find out as much as we can about who's probably leaving. I was going to say who's coming, who's going. We're not going to know who's coming. We know who could be going for the Aztecs. Also, the soccer stuff, which I think is great. A lot of the Olympics soccer matches, most of them are going to be played here at Snapdragon Stadium. Mark Zeigler coming up. Nolan McLean makes the start for the United States tonight. Skraby, last year the guy was 5-1 with a 2.06 ERA. He was pretty much lights out. He made 7 starts before he ever gave up more than 2 runs in a game. His last start, he gave up 5 runs, but struck out 11 in that game, which is a career high. The guy has been unhittable. He gets the call, 24 years old, with everything on the line tonight. But here's good news for the United States.
Give it to me.
Craig Stammen has given the okay for Mason Miller to be used out of the bullpen tonight. So there you have it.
Craig Stammen. I
Craig
watched Stammen's
making
earlier.
the call. He's making the call.
I watched the clip earlier of him talking, and he is done with these questions. He is beyond done with is Mason Miller going to pitch
Don't blame
tonight?
him, but he said Miller's available. It would depend on Miller was feeling. Evidently, Miller from Miami was able to make Stammen and everybody else feel comfortable enough that he feels good.
I
right?
understand if Mason Miller wakes up and says, "Hey, I got a little bit of a twinge in my shoulder,"
no.
do not play tonight. But Mason Miller is fine.
But how well?
I'm knocking on wood.
Knock on wood, because he could have had a twinge in his shoulder and just not said anything.
Oh,
we don't know that.
I don't even want to think about it.
Here's the incredible stat for Mason Miller. In the tournament alone, he's already thrown 35 pitches more than 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
He's only pitched 4 innings. Ridiculous how good he is.
Even when he's off, like we saw him off the other night, even when he's off, how do those hitters decide what to do?
That slider is, that's almost, ought to be a band.
Yeah, it should
going
be
along with his fastball.
Tony always tells us about the slider, and you look for the dot in the middle of the ball because that shows you it's a slider. How do you see that when the fastball's coming at 103?
You don't have time.
You have 0 time.
There's no way you can have time. Couple of other quick baseball notes. Jerkson Profar has company on the suspended list. Philadelphia Phillies outfielder Johan Rojas, 80 games. Positive test. He joins teammate Max Kepler on the 80-game sidelines. Phillies Max Kepler, he tested a while ago in January.
Forgot about that.
Profar, of course, is out for the year after his second positive test. The one little comical thing that happened here was a couple of Dodger fans and people ran away with the story and reported that it was Miguel Rojas.
Yep.
And it wasn't.
Yep.
Be careful out there. What you read, it's not always true anymore because everyone's got to be first. They don't bother to check whether it's accurate.
Well, I hate to do this because he's been on our show before and I really like reading his stuff, but Evan Drellick was the guy who
was Evan on that one.
He was the guy who
got to own it
that.
then.
He's owning it. Like,
okay.
That's not a question with Evan, but
right. But you can't make those mistakes.
A big mistake.
Yeah, it's a big mistake. Everybody in the world named Rojas has been suspended for 80 games. No, you have to find the right guy.
I know who Miguel Rojas is. I have no idea who the Johan's
Rojas. An outfielder for the Phillies. He's the guy who actually got suspended. Miguel Rojas being suspended was news to him because he didn't get suspended.
That would be news.
Wow. 9-4 Padre, make it 9-5. Morejon just gave up a run. They're in the 8th in Peoria. We got Mark Zeigler next on Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Wood.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife Audrey on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There was some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to, being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates. And then, however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat?
Yeah. Man, just to think about what my mind was thinking about 3 weeks ago was completely different than what it is now. Obviously I'm part of the organization and wanted to find the best manager for the Padres. And so I was in on some Zoom calls, to start that process. And then we and I were just having conversations about who we thought were great candidates and how we ranked them. And we got done talking about it. And he goes, well, I think I got you at the top of the list. And
he just dropped that on you.
Yeah, he just dropped that on me. And, it's a little bit of a shock, when someone, like AJ believes in you that much. And it pushed Audrey and I to actually think about this. And, is this something that we would like to pursue? If we got that much belief from the organization, we've got to make an informed decision. Yeah. And so then after that, we spent a lot of time, like I said, praying and fasting and thinking about this and how trying to map out the schedule and work it out with our family. And once we came to the conclusion we're taking everybody with us, then we felt pretty good about it. And we're able to say, if you're willing to offer the job to us, we'll say yes.
13 years as a reliever. You spent 6 here as a Padre. How has that shaped your viewpoint and how the type of manager you'll be?
Yeah, I think one quality I have is a little bit of loyalty, and I was lucky in my career. I only really played for 2 organizations. I played 1 year with the Guardians in the middle, but not in the big leagues. But most of my career started with Washington, and then it ended with San Diego, and I feel very connected to this organization. I feel like it is family. They've treated me like family. And so, being a part of this and being in this role is something that's very exciting, and I'm up for the challenge.
Now, you had to get it out the mud, so to speak, right? You weren't a high round draft pick. You're a guy who had to kind of grind. That's the word we often use around this game. How is that, or what kind of lessons from those type of situations are you going to be able to take into your managerial role?
Yeah, maybe it's like people doubting you a little bit or not saying you're quite good enough. And there's probably some people thinking that as me as the manager. But it's also exciting to prove people who I really am and what I stand for, and maybe do it a little bit different than everybody expects. But those challenges as a player, they were so enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was so, you've done it before. It's fun to try to get the most out of your talent. And as soon as I took this job, that feeling of what I was as a player, when's my next workout? When's my next throwing session? That constant thought, that feeling, that little nervousness, that little excitement came back right away. And it was I definitely missed that. Now, did I enjoy the 2 years in between? Yeah, I did. I got a lot, my handicap went down and all that kind of stuff. But, this challenge has gotten that excitement back, that feeling back of I'm in the hunt with the boys, and I'm ready to grind it out and make something special happen.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife Audrey on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was I talked about it a little. There's some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates. And then, however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat.
Yeah. Man, just to think about what my mind was thinking about 3 weeks ago was completely different than what it is now.
Tony will be off today. Padres will be off tomorrow. But Skraby and I will be doing a program separately tomorrow. I'll be in Peoria. Skraby will be here at the Odyssey Palace Studios. That's because I want to drive in the morning, and Skraby doesn't mind driving at night. Very simple.
Yeah.
And just in case anybody's wondering, because I know Adam Klug, our great program director, surprisingly to me said, "What, you guys aren't driving together?" And I'm like, what world have you been living in? We've never driven together.
That is true.
And we never will.
It's not because we don't like each other.
Well, I
really appreciate my drive time.
Well, it's oil and water. You can't put us in a car together for 6 hours. That's
we have been when we were in Cooperstown.
Oh, we did have a couple of long drives there.
We did. I remember us going to a diner.
But I was sleeping a lot.
You were.
I tried to sleep in the car, so we didn't have to.
I remember us going to a diner, and Chris ate so much food. Do you remember this?
Loved it.
It was in the middle of like New York State. It was one of those mom and pop diners.
Starving.
And Chris ate like 3 meals.
No, not 3.
2.
At least 2. I'll give you 2.
All right.
A lot of times I go for the omelet on one side, and then I'll get some side of French toast.
Which, see, it's such a problem for me because I want both of those too.
Well, then you gotta get them. Gotta get them. Do it. All right, Mark Zeigler coming on here in a second. Aztec basketball not getting ready for the NCAA, not getting ready for the NIT. What are they doing? Why did they make the choices they made? We will discuss that with Mark. Also, good news for you soccer fans. Not only SDFC tomorrow night playing the big one up in Toluca, or down in Toluca and up on the 8,000 feet up there.
8,500.
Yeah, but the Olympics announcing that Snapdragon is going to be like the home for the soccer tournament practically. A lot of the matches. So that's pretty exciting, I think.
Some bronze medal matches. The other medals go
semifinal stuff. Yeah, no, we got it. But I believe, according to Zeigler's story, we have more soccer here than any other venue.
11 games?
Something like that for the Olympics, yes. All right, a couple of quick NBA notes, and then we check traffic. Timberwolves, Ant-Man out, knee soreness. You know what I say to that? I don't believe
what was that?
It was, I don't believe it. Oh. I just don't believe it. Of course he's going to sit out there in the playoffs. He's going to rest. This is what NBA players do. I don't believe this.
I buy that after a guy's played 60-something games, he might have a sore knee.
Since when? Like, don't talk to any NBA player who played back in the day when they all played 82 and they played back-to-back and they traveled. They played.
I also think
what has happened? Why is it different now? They're supposedly in way better shape now than they ever were before.
But they're bigger and they're heavier. And
I don't know. Are they bigger than Barkley? Are they bigger than Robert Parrish?
Yes. Barkley was 6'6". That's small compared in basketball terms.
Yeah. Well, ask Barkley how small he was when he would knock people out of the way under the basket.
I remember when I found out Charles Barkley was 6'6", and it blew my mind because he played like he was 7 feet tall.
Michael Jordan, also 6'6", just a little different look. Congrats also to Steve Kerr last night. Win number 600. It seems to me he was just hitting the game-winning shot in the NBA Finals for the Bulls, a month ago. He's up to 600 career wins already in the NBA. According to this, he also had 600 wins as a player. There's only one other guy in the history of the sport that can go 600. Guy's name was Don Nelson, who used to coach your Warriors as well. Nelly, correct. Do you remember Nelly's calling card? He was the first guy I ever saw do this, and he did it a lot, and then they became popular, and I don't think they are anymore. He wore the fish tie.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
it was like it looked like a mackerel hanging from his neck.
But by the time he got to the Warriors, he was wearing turtlenecks at this point.
He was past the fish tie.
But Don Nelson was awesome.
And he was actually a pretty good player back in the day when players played 82 games. All right, let's check traffic. Then the Z-Man will join us.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Got a lot of stalled vehicles this afternoon. Kind of sucks with all this heat, guys. Yeah, one is in middle lane, South 805, just past the 163. Also, southbound 805 before 43rd. Crash involving a car and a motorcycle. It's over to the right shoulder. Then up ahead, another crash right before the 54. That's over to the right shoulder. Reports of a crash in South 163 right at the East 8 connector ramp. And traveling on westbound King Freeway right at the North 805. Another stalled vehicle reported. Going to find on southbound 15 right before the 805 stall in the center divide. Then further south at the Main Street off-ramp, a stalled vehicle in the clearing stage. San Diego drivers, keep moving with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their expert technicians help keep your vehicle and everyone in it safe and road ready. Stay in your car, no appointment needed. Save at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Mark Zeigler is, as always, gracious enough to spend a little time with us, and we have a few things to discuss with you, Mark. But I'm going to start with something that's going to bring a smile, I think, to your face because you covered the NBA way back in the day. We're just talking about Don Nelson and the fish ties. Do you remember the? You remember those?
Oh, the fish ties were the best.
Weren't they the greatest? He would wear them during every game, and people would. We were just wondering, and I'm looking this up. I don't know that anybody wears a fish tie anymore, the way Nelly did back in the day. But they were.
You know what? It was great about the fish ties is that, I mean, now we see it now where coaches don't get dressed up. I mean, Mick Cronin aside, but most coaches, and Josh Pastner too. He's the other one who wears a suit. But most of them just, they come casual. They don't take themselves too seriously. And that was an era when everybody was dressed up on the bench. You had the Pat Riley with his designer collars he had and designer suits. Anyway, that was great because it was like Don Nelson was telling everybody, let's not take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of the era. I mean, I know it happened in COVID and all that, but that was really the start of it. If you want to go back, and I credit him as much as anybody else.
Thank you, Don Nelson. And if you've never seen, if the fish tie doesn't sound like you think it's a bunch of little fish on there. No, it's one big fish hanging down there as the tie. Right now. I mean, it's just hilarious looking when you think about it. All right, let's move on to the soccer story you wrote today, Mark, before we get to the Aztecs. This is really great. You wrote it yourself. You said, look, when we heard that some of the Olympics would be played at Snapdragon, we never thought that we would get this many matches and some important matches as well. So this has turned into a big deal.
Yeah, I think probably what happened is the U.S. women said, you know what, we don't want to travel the country. We do that enough. We want to be on the West Coast. And I think a lot of the athletes too are like, we want to be close to the action. Yeah. You're in Columbus or Nashville or New York. You're not going to have an Olympic experience. So for some athletes, particularly whatever group the U.S. is in, I think what we'll see is the U.S. women will be here for the group stages, and they'll just probably drive down from L.A. and go back and train up there and be around the Olympics and all that. And they'll come down here for the matches. And then in the quarter, semis, and final, they'll go up to the Rose Bowl. Assuming they win their group. But yeah, the whole schedule got redone. It was initially like, we've got the schedule done. We're just going to add a couple games here and there. No, they redid the whole thing and gave San Diego 11 games. No one else was getting more than 9. So that's a compliment to Snapdragon, what they think of it, what they think of the city, the venue, the soccer community here. It's a huge feather in everyone's cap. It's going to be really cool.
For sure. And, we are getting, I think the whole soccer community here, Mark, has grown beyond my wildest expectations. I know we have a lot of soccer fans. Everybody's always said that. But, we had the Wave come in here, and I think they've made some nice inroads. And now, obviously, what San Diego FC is doing and continues to do, and now, doing it in the CONCACAF Champions Cup and having a chance to advance again. And now with the matches coming down here, this is really it's exceeded what I thought it would do in this short of amount of time.
Yeah, and the other thing to remember is we used to be a soccer city because Mexico would come here every single year and play some kind of friendly game on a Wednesday night in a game that every now and then they played like a Gold Cup where it was a meaningful game, but it was just sort of a friendly game, and they would come close to or sell out Qualcomm all the time.
Yeah.
And when they built Snapdragon, that was one of the big drawbacks about building a smaller stadium. You know, some people said, "Oh, because we want to maybe one day have an NFL team here again." But the other thing, the more realistic and the more impactful thing is you weren't going to get Mexico because it's, or as often at least, because it wasn't big enough, and they can go to a 70,000 seat stadium to sell it out. And so we kind of lost that, and it's cool to see that all this other soccer's come back in that void and filled it all and then some. So it's been a great. It's been great for the soccer community. I mean, these people are in heaven. Trust me, I know a lot of them, and they're just like, "Oh, this is great."
This is great for soccer. All right, so this is the hardest question in the world, and I'm sure you're getting it from me and everybody and you're getting texts and emails, and the question is, who are the Aztecs going to keep? Who are they going to lose? But instead of answering that, try to give us some idea of what not playing in the NIT actually does for the Aztec program. Does it give Dutch a chance to get a better feel for what kids are going to do? And can we just assume that by not doing the NIT thing, it is because we want to focus every attention on next year?
That's part of it. I mean, there are other issues. Obviously, the team's banged up. So there was an injury factor. There was a venue factor. They can't play in VS Arena because the NCAA tournament is there this week. They'd have to rent out an arena like the women are doing. And then there's a pride part of it too. I mean, I think this program considers itself above the NIT in the NIT's current form. The NIT 5 years ago and the NIT now are two different tournaments. And as another guy in the Mountain West from a school that is not in the tournament, and not in the NIT, said there are 5 Mountain West schools in the NIT this year, said, "Look, we just played in the Mountain West tournament. We don't want to play in it again."
Yeah.
And so I think there's a little bit of that as well.
Right.
But yes, from a logistical standpoint, look, they were meeting already today with players and having exit meetings. And it's a little bit of a process. The transfer portal doesn't open until after the Final Four. So you think, oh, well, they got some more time, but realistically, all these decisions are being made now. But it's so layered. And talking with Brian Dutcher today, both on and off the record, it's so layered and complicated and nuanced that it's a really complicated process. Yeah, you meet with your players, but then you have to decide, okay, do we want them? Do we not? Do they want to be here? Do they not? And then it's at what price? And then it's at what price within our budget? Yeah. And so you've got to figure out all these things. There's so many. It's three-dimensional chess. There's so many plates in the air and moving pieces and all those. However you want to compare it, but it's it's a complicated process and it's going to take time. And I think they'd much rather be watching film of players for next year than watching film of an opponent in a meaningless tournament.
Isn't that crazy? It's just crazy.
Mark Zeigler joins us on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. By the way, while you guys were chatting there, I got a text message of a fish tie from Don Nelson, and it is incredible. It is like a bright pink fish tie that he's
salamander tie or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's great.
Oh, he was the best, man.
Yeah. So Brian Dutcher has obviously had better seasons, and I can't consider a 22-win season a terrible season. But what do you think Brian Dutcher, if he sits down 5 years from now, what do you think he's going to reflect upon during this year? Was it that he couldn't get the consistency? What do you think is going to keep him up at night?
I mean, it's a tough question to answer. The more I've been thinking about it a lot, the more you think about it. And I think he's the type of person, they preach next play. I think they just move on. I think they've already moved on from this past season.
Yeah.
Now he did say he's going to, he does this every year, but he after, the way things are changing, he's going to reevaluate every aspect of the program and maybe make some changes based on their experiences this year, whether that's the way they recruit, the way they schedule, the way they play, et cetera, et cetera. But, the thing about it is you look at last year, you look at this year, and you look at the metrics, it's almost identical. I mean, it's scary how there's a couple key metrics where it was exactly identical or one off from last year. And so, I mean, the big difference in their resumes, they didn't have a marquee win. Last year they had Houston. And they beat Houston, people forget, at a time when Houston was kind of flailing around. They lost a few games. Kelvin Sampson wasn't really happy with them. They were trying to put things together. And then they kind of did, and they made that run in March. But they didn't have that. But that's really the only difference in the metrics. I think the bigger thing, and he talked about this a lot, is that this team in past years would have been good enough to get into the NCAA tournament, but the way the gap between the power conferences and the mid majors has grown exponentially in the last 2 years, and particularly this year.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. There just aren't as many spots. I mean, it wasn't long ago that there were 10 at-large berths for mid majors, and now there's 4, and that ties the record low. And it's been 2 straight years of that.
Yeah, you brought this
up. So
up.
there's just fewer spots.
Yeah.
And I think that's when he looks at it. Yes, there were injuries. Yes, the 11-man rotation was problematic. Yes, they had a couple close games that could have gone either way. The Troy loss, the Grand Canyon loss, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, they're competing for fewer spots and their margin of error is smaller.
Mark Zeigler's with us. NCAA tournament getting underway tonight. Last year, I think at this time we were getting ready to play North Carolina, and that's not exactly a great memory, I must say. All right, Mark, it's hard to pin it. I know seniors, we Sean Newman's done, right? Jeremiah Oden Sr. and Dixon Waters. Okay, so those 3 we don't have to worry about. BJ Davis is junior, Miles Bird Jr., Miles Heidi Jr., and then you got, my God, DeGorville and Guath are sophomores. Farrell Compton. I've heard people say they don't think anybody could be back. Could we have that big of a turnover, and how crazy would that be?
I mean, I could see anything from, I think 3 or 4 are for sure gone.
Really?
I could see, the remaining 3, I could see all of them come back. I could see none of them come back. And that's what it's going to, this is sort of really delicate dance in the next few weeks is going to happen because, the coaches are not going to commit to players right now because they're going to see what else is out there, how much money they have, how much money they can commit to them. And the players probably aren't going to commit 100% either because their agents are out there.
God.
Like Brian Dutch had a great line today. He goes, look, the portal doesn't open until August 7th. He goes, everybody's in the portal. If you have an agent, you're in the portal. They're all talking. And so both sides are kind of talking. And then as we get closer and closer to April 7th, they'll kind of become a critical mass and people are going to have to make a decision. And that's when decisions will start being made about who's staying and who's going. But I mean, if you look at their roster, you have Farrell Compton and Miles Heidi. I can't see them keeping both guys. It was sort of a frustrating rotation. Neither sort of maximized what people thought they would get out of them for different reasons. They're different kind of players, but neither of them really are great shooters or threats on the perimeter. I think in this modern game, you need to have a big guy who can shoot. And so if one wants to stay, then they maybe don't keep the other. So there's a lot of moving parts in that regard. I think Miles Bird is probably gone, sort of like Nick Boyd, Keyshawn Johnson, Lamont Butler, guys who graduated from San Diego State and had an extra year,
right,
and then used it somewhere else. So I think
as Dutcher said about Lamont Butler, he went to school here for 4 years and played pro 1 year at Kentucky.
And he said that today. He goes, he might go play pro for a lot of money at another college.
Same thing, yeah.
And then Magoon Guath, he was paid a lot of money. I don't know exactly the figure, but he was the highest paid player. I think it's fair to say. Are they going to be able to invest that kind of money into him? And probably the answer is no. And if the answer is no, he's going to probably get a bigger offer somewhere else, and maybe he goes and takes it.
Yeah.
The most interesting one to me of all those guys is BJ Davis. I could see that thing going either way. I can see him having a huge value in the open market because his ability to create shots, have some big game shooting. He's a pretty good on-ball defender. He's going to be a veteran guard. I could see some really big programs coming after him after seeing what, the kind of season Lamont Butler had and then Nick Boyd had. I could see people coming after him for just too much money to pass up. But I also feel like his family is really, really grounded. There may be something about graduating from the university you started at, value there for his family and for him. So that one is going to be interesting to me. But I think, you're going to see 3, 4, maybe 5 guys go.
All right, I got less than 30 seconds. With Gonzaga at the top, can we legitimately contend for a title now that we're going to the Pac-12 under the circumstances, the way the game is now?
Well, if Gonzaga still has the budget that they have right now and they're going to get a full football share, the answer is probably no, because they're going to have 2 times, 3 times as much money. But I think it's going to be a little bit of an advantage not being the big dog in a conference, because remember, every time San Diego State goes on the road in the Mountain West, it's the biggest game of the season target on their back. They get the best shot from everybody. They don't ever get a B+ or a B- effort ever. And I think they'll get a few of those next year because it's going to be all about Gonzaga. Gonzaga. When are they coming? That's our big game. That's our orange out at Colorado State. That's our big white out, blue out, green out, whatever it's going to be. And San Diego State will be, a big deal, but not as big a deal. And I think they could probably benefit from that. Maybe that gets them a win or two more, and those are the kind of things that get you in the NCAA tournament. So I don't think it's all bad, but they'll be the big dog in the tournament unless the finances and regulations change in college sports, but they're going to have way more money.
All right, send me a couple of dates and a golf course somewhere. Skraby and I are going to at least take you for a golf day. If you haven't played with Zeigler, he's really good, by the way, Skrabe.
Okay.
But I think we gotta pay for you around somewhere good, Zeigler. You've been so good to us. I like playing golf with you. So send me some days and we'll get this done.
Who's better, you or Skraby?
He's better.
I would never say
he's better, but I have more spectacular shots. But let me
tell you this. Chris has great old man golf game.
Oh, stop it!
Which is slow and steady, 200 yards down the fairway.
Stop it!
Doesn't lose his golf balls.
He's played near me. He knows what I can do. But Skraby's better. He's been doing it longer. But anyway, let's do that.
How about T? Is T good or not?
No. Well, and I'm not knocking T.
But that's just an emphatic no.
That was quick. That was quick.
Where does his tee shot go, Skraby?
His tee shot, when he connects, it's a great tee shot. But when he does it, it's about 500 yards to the left or right.
Yeah, he's a lefty, and you got to get out of the way when Tony swings. Got to get out of the way. All right, we owe you one, though, so let's make that happen.
That's a good idea.
We'll talk to you soon, Z. Thanks.
All right, we'll talk to you guys.
Yep, Mark Zeigler. Got to get to the break at the top here. Got Chris versus the fans. And give us a call, 833-288-0973. You want to play some trivia. Get yourself a prize. It's a long,
2 prizes today.
It's a long prize today.
Well, 2 of them.
Oh, you got 2 prizes. Okay, well, get in there, 833-288-0973. And we'll do that when we come back on Gwynn and Chris. Tony,
much more. Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony,
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh.
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
Hope he didn't. Yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower?
Well, I hope he didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City. So.
He's in New York City. It could be, you never know.
All right, we'll just go forward.
We're just going to go forward without Tony. I'm sure he'll rejoin us when he gets a moment.
Everybody stare at that box in the top right corner because it's just the corner of his room.
I'm going to look now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Oh, someone says maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know.
He's been known to go there, as have all of us, frankly, but him more than most.
Over under, Tony just forgot that he was doing the show.
And that's not nice. Yeah, so maybe that's what they're thinking.
You know what just hit me, Chris?
No.
What if Tony went out to get like ice or something and he forgot his room key?
That is something that he is more than capable of doing.
Because he would never be gone this late. This long with knowing that he was on the show.
No kidding, man. We took a commercial break like 5 minutes ago and he has not returned.
I'm going to text him.
Like, ask him, are you out in the hall trying to get into your room right now?
Everything okay?
Oh, no.
Question mark.
Scaring me. No. Did you hear back from Tony yet?
No, I'm thinking
something.
I'm thinking he locked himself out. He doesn't have his phone because it's in the room. So he's down at the front desk or something. I
don't know. I'm sure there's a story in here somewhere.
There's definitely got to be a
story.
Story. Anyway. I was very concerned about Tony, and I took him off the screen because he's not back. I guarantee you he got locked out of his room.
I don't think you're wrong because that makes sense. But how far away is the lobby? Of course, the New York hotel, it could be one of those ones where you got to wait a while to get up to the...
And he's just sitting in line. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is.
Well, it's funny
to
if
me.
it's funny if he comes back with a funny story.
Yeah, like
it's
I
not
locked myself
funny.
out.
It's not funny if he fell and hit his head somewhere
Well,
and we don't know where he is.
Of course,
That's not funny.
Of course, that's not funny.
He's obviously not with his phone because he hasn't gotten back to us.
Has Tony locked himself out before? Not during the show, but I'm sure he has at one point in his life.
Of all people, Tony would certainly seem to be one who would do it.
Oh, August also says, Clinton said, got to use the key card for the elevator too. So maybe he's just stuck.
You can't even get down? No, you don't need the key card to go down.
Okay.
You only need those to go up. You should be able to get down to the lobby to say, hey, I locked myself out in New York City. But if we do, can you go to the Padre Hotel and knock on Tony's door? We don't know where he is still.
No.
Still hasn't come back.
And I turned on
It's been 20 minutes now.
I know. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
What
happened?
I don't know. I would call the front desk of the hotel, but I have no idea where they're staying.
I don't know where they're staying either. And when you sent him a text and said, is everything all right? We have not heard back from him. He is still not back in his room.
I bet you he is standing in line in the lobby as we speak.
I'm trying to get his key back.
Someone said text Jesse or Dave. And
it's really not a bad idea. Maybe at the next break, though.
Yes.
If we get to the next break, we got to text those guys so that they can go make sure he's okay. Because I don't know where he is. It's crazy.
Dave Marcus is probably the one to text.
We'll text Dave.
Because he's, Jesse could be doing anything, but Dave's always there ready to go.
You're trying to say Dave has a ho-hum life and he'd just be sitting around waiting for a text, whereas Jesse might be busy? Is that what you're...
Dave's been doing this job for like 30 years. I don't think the what is the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
All right. Well, there's certainly an explanation, but we don't have it yet.
Text Scan. I don't know Scan well enough to text him.
We're going to text Dave if this gets to the top of the hour and we still don't have a Tony Gwynn Jr. sighting. All right, do we just go to traffic like it's normal behavior time? I mean, it just seems weird.
We got to move on with the show.
Show must go on?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the really, really weird and ugly next here after traffic. All right, it's with less enthusiasm than usual that we embark on the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 2, Skrabe.
I'm going to try not to worry too much.
I'm going to try not to worry also. I'm not necessarily the worrying type.
I'm not either.
But, I'm intrigued now at this point. Like it's with this long pass to Devontae Smith.
He's back!
Helped put him there. Into the 4 o'clock hour we roll here. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby together in our Odyssey Palace studios. Bill Howe studios, we know how. All guests joining us on the SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Mark Zeigler, always better. And giving us an update as much as he can, because I don't think even Dutcher has the answer yet.
Probably.
Who's leaving, who's not. But Mark Zeigler did say, I hate to, repeat it, but yeah, they could all leave. I mean, that's just the state of college basketball now. That's not the Aztecs. That's not the San Diego State program. That's not Brian Dutcher. That's college basketball. And I don't think we like it.
It's stressful.
Yeah, we don't like it. We don't like it at all. One thing we do like is the Padres hitting against the Mariners in spring training. Padres hit 6 home runs today against the Mariners. Last time they played the Mariners about a week and a half ago, Scrape, they hit 9 homers.
Yeah, I remember. They scored,
27 runs in that game. They scored 9 today. So in 2 games against the Mariners, they've hit 15 home runs the last 2 games. If you take that away, the Padres have hit 23 home runs against everybody else in spring training. 15 in 2 games against the Mariners. Among the big blows today, Castellanos hit one off their closer, Andres Munoz. Ty France went up the grassy knoll. Jace Bowen went high off the batter's eye and straight away center field. That was impressive. Xander and Sheets went back-to-back. Anyway, you get the idea. German Marquez started. To me, it's at least keeps him in the hunt.
Definitely.
5 innings, 3 runs, but struck out 9. I think that catches everybody's attention a little bit. Padres win 9-6.
All he needs to do is go 5 innings and keep them in the game.
He goes 5 innings, 3 runs, and strikes out 9. They'll take that every time out.
Every time.
Yeah. The NCAA basketball tournament is underway. First play-in game in Dayton, Ohio. It is the Bison 24 and the Retrievers 20. That would be Howard over Maryland, Baltimore County. Midway through the first half, we'll keep you up to date. Now, let's give away some prizes in a matchup between me and all of you called Chris versus the Fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. Give me a second as I read everything because we have lots to give away today. You will. If you win today, you will win a 4-pack of tickets to the Good Guys 25th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals at Del Mar Fairgrounds, April 10th through the 12th. America's favorite car show returns to Del Mar for Southern California's biggest hot rodding event of the spring. Get details, vehicle registration, and ticket info at good-guys.com/DMN. David Mike November, Chris. You will also be qualified for the chance to win the grand prize, a 2-night stay at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and a $150 resort credit. March is here, and Fontainebleau, Las Vegas is the place to catch every game. High-energy watch parties with expansive screens, great food and drinks, exclusive room rates, plus the pools and day club are open. Book your stay today at FontainebleauLasVegas.com now. And for the next couple of weeks, we have a great sponsor. Chris versus the Fans is brought to you by the Good Guys 25th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals Car Show, April 10th through the 12th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Over 25 hot rods, muscle cars, lowriders, woodies, and more. Get details at good-guys.com. I went to that one year. It was awesome.
Is it fun?
I'm not really like a classic car guy, but it's really cool to see some of these cars.
Pretty neat to see them up close.
Definitely.
Your lead in there reminded me of an old George Carlin joke about how game shows, the rules are so complicated now that the first question is, can you come back tomorrow?
It is kind of complicated.
That took a long time.
I need about 7 minutes to read everything, and I'm still not even done with the rules.
That took a while. I don't think you even got into the rules yet.
You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question, or you win if you're a first-time player. Let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today. All right.
Let's go.
You know what? This was the first person that called in, and she is a ray of sunshine. Bernice. Hello,
She
Bernice.
is a ray of sunshine. Hi, Bernice.
Hello.
All you have to do is look at the end of Bernice's name.
Oh, nice.
She's
You're
nice.
right.
She's
You're right.
nice. Yeah, it says it right there, Skraby.
Yes, that is true.
There.
I'm rusty. I haven't played in a long time.
It's okay. There's no rusty in this game.
Nah.
It's no rusty.
You pick it up. It's like riding a bike. You pick it right back up.
Here we go, Bernice. Question number 1. What baseball movie was based in Iowa and had legendary ghost baseball players emerge from a cornfield?
Oh my gosh. I was just watching it, Field of Dreams.
Okay, good.
She's there.
Okay, good. Nice
Way to
job.
go,
Oh my god, I was just watching it.
You were just watching it.
Just watching it. Sure.
What are you watching
Yeah, the
Field
other
of Dreams
day.
for?
That's it's on often.
I was flipping channels and it happened to come up.
There
and
you
I
go.
watched
Sure.
it.
Yeah. You don't need an excuse, Bernice, to watch Field of Dreams. It's a good, solid entertainment.
That's one of those I got to make
You know
sure.
I love baseball.
I know you do. I love baseball too, but that's one of those I got to make sure I have caffeine, all of that.
My wife, this isn't going to interest anybody, but maybe it will. My wife and I have gone to 10,000 movies at least in our time together. The only movie she's ever uncontrollably cried at the end of was Field of Dreams. And I mean, like, you know, when people are crying when they're like,
yes,
like they can't even breathe. That was her at the end of Field of Dreams.
That's hilarious, actually.
Yeah, never quite got that, but that's the way it was.
All right, Bernice, here we go. Question number 2. Let's see here. Two guys are tied with the lead for the Padres in home runs in spring training. Name one of the two.
One of the two. Spring home run leaders.
Gavin Sheet?
Gavin Sheet, she said.
Stay there.
Gavin.
Stay there, Bernice.
Yeah, I still got to get it. What's the guy? No, I can't forget the guy's name. Is it Nick Solak?
Nick Solak.
Could be wrong.
Wow.
Who was it? The other? I know the guy, but I can't think of it.
It's Jace Bowen just hit his 4th today. Let me just make sure this is correct because I wrote the question yesterday.
Okay.
So home runs, yes. Jace Bowen has 4, and Nick Schnell. You were close.
Schnell.
It was Nick S. One of the Nick S's.
Okay.
All right.
On you go, Bernice.
Here we go. Question number 3. I don't know if Chris knows this, but I had no idea until I came across an article about this.
All right.
For nearly 30 years, California's Catalina Island was the spring training camp for this non-California Major League Baseball team.
It's true.
It was from 1920 to 1950 or something.
Spring training. They held it on Catalina Island.
And it's not a California baseball team.
Yeah, guess the team, Bernice, because I do know the answer. So you're going to have to guess one here. Sorry.
I'm just going to throw a team out there.
Yeah, give it a go here. You're going to have to guess and get lucky here. You never know. Give us a club.
Chicago. I'm going to guess Chicago.
Chicago.
Which
Cubs?
one?
Cubs.
Bernice, you were correct.
You got
were
it.
correct. Yes.
You got it.
And that was.
Oh my God.
And you know what? I know Bernice. Bernice did not cheat. She did not do anything.
No.
That is incredible.
Way to go, Bernice. As far as I know, the story on that was the owner of the Cubs was the guy Wrigley, Wrigley Field, Wrigley gum, chewing gum. He was a big magnate, and he had a bunch of land on Catalina Island, and he put his ball team there in spring training.
My question is, I can't. My question is, did they have to get on a boat every time they needed to go play a game?
I imagine they did.
This is like 1920s we're talking about. That this was on Catalina Island.
I don't think it was the 20s, maybe a little later. Let's look.
Well, I know it was destroyed in 1966.
Cubs on Catalina Island. It is true.
21 to 51.
Oh, it was 1921.
I literally saw the story yesterday.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, that was true. I did know that. I don't, and I've been to Catalina Island many times. I don't know that there's any remnants of the Cubs being there. You know what I mean? Like if you walk around Catalina Island, there's nothing to indicate that they were ever there, which I find interesting. You would think they'd have some landmarks or something.
Like I'm looking at a picture from 1921, I think, and it looks incredible.
Had a nice little
I've never been to Catalina Island, but this sent me down a rabbit hole, Chris.
The story began, William Wrigley enjoyed Catalina. I said he owned some land. He owned the whole island.
Well, that helps.
That helped him move his team.
God,
well, congratulations
own an
to
island.
you, Bernice. Nice job. She came up with the Cubs. I love that.
Yes.
Good
Stay
for
there,
her.
Bernice. We're going to have to talk for a second, and then I'll come get your information.
You're the winner of today's Christopher's the Vans. Bad news for everybody else, but Bernice was on it with the Cubs there. And, that's the fun of this game. You can guess one time, and you can be right. I got one for you on the same idea.
Okay.
What Major League Baseball team played their spring training games for years and years in Palm Springs?
Oh, was it the Angels?
Yeah, it was the Angels. Yeah, they still have Angel Stadium there. One of their minor league teams play there now. But my grandparents, growing up in LA, my grandparents lived in Palm Springs, so I went to more Angel spring training games than I care to count, actually, back in the day.
See, that it's all very interesting that all of this, they finally got everything to come centrally on
right
to Arizona and Florida.
Well, I mean, Yuma, Arizona was not close to anything either, where the Padres were, right? So
yeah, true.
You had teams kind of spread out here, there, and everywhere back in the day. and it's a lot more convenient now.
Someone said because I blurted out, I would love to own an island. Someone said, owning an island in this day and age is not as cool. It doesn't look as cool as you think.
It might get you investigated. Is that what you're thinking? Was that what you mean?
I would have parties on the island. Well, wait, never mind. I would have a bunch of people over to the island. We would all have fun on the island together.
With their clothes on.
With everything.
Okay.
Above board. It would just be a fun time. I would put a roller coaster on there. I would put a helicopter pad on there.
If you had enough money to own an island, you would certainly have enough money to build a roller coaster on that island.
There's a Blank Check movie that I loved where this kid got a check and he put $1 million down and he just bought everything that every kid ever wanted. And I wish I was that kid.
There was a movie, there was a Richard Pryor movie called Brewster's Millions where he had to spend a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time.
Is that the one where the train goes through their baseball field?
Pretty sure, yeah. Richard Pryor, funny guy. All right, Bernice, with a nice victory there on the Cubs. I'm looking at trying to find the history of the Angels spring training, and I'm not finding it as easily as we found the
Cubs on Catalina
stuff.
Island.
Yeah, the Cubs on Catalina Island. My grandfather was, he sang the national anthem at a couple of games there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It says it was called Angel Stadium from 1961 and 1995. It's now called Palm Springs Stadium.
Okay.
And you are correct, obviously.
Yeah, Gene Autry owned the team back then, the old Cowboy.
I'm looking at a picture of it. Man, it looks like a high school stadium.
Well, I do remember a few games there where they sold. Yeah, I'm looking at it there too. They would sell so many tickets to the game, Skrabe.
Yeah.
That you would sit in the outfield on the grass for like 10 rows and they would just put a rope up. And if the ball got hit in there, it was a double. So they just couldn't.
So funny.
Right? They couldn't afford. There was not enough room. So people would actually sit out there in the outfield on the
I like how things were back in the day.
Yes, it was a lot simpler time.
It was a lot simpler time.
But
was it? Because everybody always says, like, if I have a conversation with an older person at AA or something, they're always like, it wasn't as easy as you think it was back then. Is it all relative, Chris?
What do you mean?
The stresses of life through time?
I think the stresses of life through time get harder for everybody as we get older.
Okay.
I think we can just
fair.
look at young people and wish we were them sometimes.
That's fair.
And realize that they think they have problems, but they don't compared to what we get to do. There's a great picture here of Bill Rigney, the manager of the Angels back then, talking to one of the players, Rick Reichart, and they're wearing the old CA hat. And if you look close at the top, it's got the halo around the hat. Those were the days of the Angels.
You love those hats.
Love those hats. More Gwynn and Chris coming up after we check some traffic. Is the World Baseball Classic cooler than the World Series?
What?
I can't believe who thinks so. We'll find out when we return. And what is before they try, what is the heat index they're facing? Do we know? Or
Well, you could look up the Scoville on a ghost pepper.
Yeah.
It's one of the world's hottest. There's a couple of hotters.
Scoville's the measurement unit.
The X pepper and all of that.
Thanks for the education because I did not know.
I've allowed milk and bread, but if I was asked,
tell us the actual rules of this. Like
the rule is,
see if you can do it. I guess
you guys alternate spoonfuls until one of you can't.
One of you can't do it anymore.
Yeah. That's not happening.
Until you can't do it anymore.
I will take
and
one.
The winner, Skraby, has a jar of a couple of my jars.
I think they both are winners if they pass this.
The winners.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
There will be no back and forth. There will be one spoonful.
Now, this is the one that he has right now.
The 38?
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
Now, this right here, I've been putting on some of my turkey burgers.
Good stuff.
This is hot.
Okay.
Right, we do
Here we go.
All right. Let's
Adam's
do it.
ready. There, away he goes. He does have a full spoonful for those listening.
I'm literally sweating watching him do this right now. That's a full spoon.
All right.
That is a full spoon.
Down the hatch we go.
All right.
And man, he went the whole thing. He did not. He did not trickle that down the throat. He just
hasn't reached for the milk yet.
Skraby's coming over.
When does the heat kick in?
Oh,
I knew it.
When does the heat kick in? Wow.
You better go, dude.
There goes Skraby. Skraby,
did
did you swallow that, Skraby? Yeah.
That is some good stuff.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
We're gonna see it. I'm gonna watch you now.
I'm feeling it already. Adam, are you?
No.
He's feeling nothing. All right, so take another spoonful, Adam. You'll win.
Oh, come on. Now we're double dipping.
He's
all
you
one
can't put your
spoonful.
same
That's
spoon
not
in
what the
there. Tactician's all about.
We always said
Spoonful
that.
too? Yeah, go for
Oh
it.
yeah.
I always said that Adam Klug was kind of had a.
I at least used a different spoon, no double dipping.
All right.
I didn't know where I don't.
I
think
always
it
thought
matters.
Adam Klug had a cold persona, but evidently it's just the opposite.
All right,
Big
he
boss
is
Michael
handling
Valenzuela
it.
in the
Wait,
YouTube
no,
chat,
dog.
by the way.
Which way now? You let laughing it drip in your hand.
Oh, okay.
Skraby, where are you? Let me see.
Okay.
I'm just looking at Adam, and Adam's not having any problem at all.
Look at you, Adam.
Adam is backed up.
But
I must tell you, Tony, that Adam has cashed the check.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
did.
cashed
you said
his
I wouldn't be
check.
able to catch
I
it.
did.
No, you
I
cashed
sure
it,
did.
man.
You proved
cashed
me
it
wrong,
for
my
sure.
friend.
Skraby,
I gotta tell you though, this is further proof that whatever we got him with that tie,
the tie thing,
was
yeah, 'cause
super weak.
this is less than a 10,
he's
right?
He's over here having a difficult time.
You're turning a little red,
The time
Skraby.
was just as bad.
You're turning a
This
little
hit me
red.
By the way,
faster.
this is delicious.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
he's
He's
going
going another
more.
one.
Yes.
Come on, Adam. Wow,
Delicious.
you're gonna have to come back in 6 months with like an 88.
Oh.
It's 38.
We'll have to go with the higher Scoville next time.
All right. Oh, wow. Look at this guy. He's talking trash now.
Well, he
I haven't had a sip of milk or bread.
He hasn't even reached for it.
No, he doesn't
came out
even
of the
need the
gates
bread.
talking trash.
All right.
All right. Now
Hey,
I'm
man.
going to take another one.
What?
Well,
Why
you
are
gotta- you gotta
doing
hold
this
another
to
spoon?
yourself.
No, because I don't want.
You don't want Adam to say he
By
has
the way,
one.
sauce,
yeah,
baby.
get the whole
Full spoon,
get the same
baby.
thing that like he's dropping it all in there.
Get the studio.
Putting on a show here in the first game of the NCAA tournament, pulling away at the moment from the UMBC Retrievers, 41-30. First half, about 4 minutes to play there. Yes, the NCAA tournament is underway. Skraby and I earlier had our 5 games to watch in the first round. We didn't share what games we were going to pick, but we almost ended up with the same 5 games. Both kind of interested in that UCLA matchup with Central Florida. And I think it is something to look at. You've got the potential of a Mick Cronin versus Danny Hurley second-round game. I think that is so explosive.
I agree.
That is so much must-see TV.
Yes.
And we both kind of like Wisconsin potentially moving forward in this tournament. Got to keep an eye. They got to win their first game because I know High Point actually has a pretty good team. But Wisconsin is a team that we both seem to like going far in the tournament. So anyway, we'll have our Final Four picks a little later in the program. Padres won today, 9-6 over the Mariners. They hit 6 home runs, the Padres did. And the big one tonight, I got to tell you, Skraby, I've been waiting and sitting on this all day long. But it's time.
What?
The United States is playing who tonight?
Venezuela.
In the finals.
Venezuela.
The Venezuelan team has Ronald Acuna Jr.
Mm-hmm.
It has Michael Garcia,
Very
good player.
Good, yeah.
Has Eugenio Suarez, who hit a homer last night.
Power.
Gleyber Torres. Rockies star Ezekiel Tovar, good player.
Yeah.
Wilyer Abreu of the Red Sox. Sal Perez of the Royals, one of the all-time catching home run leaders. The Venezuelan team has Jackson Chourio batting 9th. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
I left out one guy in their lineup.
I know who it is.
He's the best hitter they have in the tournament. I want everybody to know out there that with 8 hits, 2 walks, and 10 RBIs, Luis Ariz is the guy that has led Venezuela to this championship game. And I can't take any, joy out of this, Skraby, but I'm trying to take a little joy out of it because he is the guy that all of our listeners blame last season's demise on.
Do we need to go? I don't think that is
you don't
the
want me
case.
to go there again?
No, I don't think that is the case, though. I don't think
was
it's
there
the
a
case.
more hated player on this team last year?
No one hated Luis Ariz. They just did not like to see him in the second spot.
How about would they have liked to seen him batting in the 3rd spot, which is where he bats for the Venezuelans?
No, they wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't.
No, he would be great where Jackson Chourio is at number 9.
Number 9.
There's nothing wrong with batting number 9.
Yet he's hitting number 3, and he's dominating the tournament right now.
He's not dominating the tournament.
He's got 10 RBIs.
Okay, he
Nobody
has 10
else
RBIs.
has 10 RBIs.
He is hitting 348. He's known for that. There is zero chance that this slugging that he's doing it keeps up. He has 4 doubles and 2 homers for a slugging percentage of 783. That is
What's
game
What's
numbers.
his OPS? Like
1.168.
Thank you.
That's not going to happen.
Thank you.
I think we saw Luis Ariz play like this in 7 game stretches throughout the Padres season.
Do you know how secretly I am rooting for him to just run away with the batting title
I don't
this
like
year?
that. I don't like that because he's on a team that faces the Padres and in their division.
We get what we deserve. Gave up on him.
Would you? How much did he make? He made like $12 million.
We don't
You're
like
gonna pay
him.
that guy
It's
$12
not worth
million?
Now he will be if he wins the batting title and drives in 100 runs for the Giants.
I can tell you, the Giants, he's not going to do that. The Giants don't have nearly the offense that the Padres do.
The Giants also have a lot more room for him to hit into the outfield.
I get
It's
that,
wide open.
but can he get it there? Because he rolls over on a lot of stuff too, Chris.
He's dominating the tournament, and he's still a 3-time batting champion.
I'm not arguing. Like, you're making me look like a Luis Ariz hater because I have to defend this side of it. I like Luis Ariz.
And everyone else in this town was a Luis Ariz hater, and I was a Luis Ariz apologist, and I took endless for it last year. Endless.
What did he do last year? Did he lead the Padres to the playoffs?
Didn't have a great
the World
year,
Series?
but I mean, okay.
Cole's another great for a guy who we hated last year. Xander Bogaerts. He was actually in the crosshairs for a while.
Okay.
I'm
happy to see.
Why aren't you mad
Luis
about
Ariz.
Xander?
I'm happy to see Luis Ariz having a good tournament. That's all. We'll see what happens tonight. Game for the championship. It's about 45 minutes away. We got a Big Five next on Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Woods.
Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., idle today. Skraby, alongside here in the Odyssey Palace Studios, otherwise known as the Bill Howe Studios. We know how. I did not know, this is a little Angels trivia, going back to the days of Palm Springs, but Bill Veeck, do you know who Bill Veeck was, Skrabe?
No.
Bill Veeck was he was the Barnum and Bailey circus type owner then of the Chicago White Sox, and I think before then Cleveland, and he was like beyond innovative. He was the guy that set up they called the Eddie Goodell was the batter's name. He was like 2 feet tall.
Okay.
And he set him up to hit.
I've seen this picture.
All right. To try to draw a walk.
Yeah,
and then they said, you can't do that.
Why not?
Bill Veeck had exploding scoreboards. Bill Veeck was in charge of Disco Demolition Night, where they burned down Comiskey Park.
This guy sounds awesome.
Right. He was just a showman, and he was a baseball owner. He apparently was the first guy in line to buy the brand new California Angels baseball team, when 1961. I did not know that. And I think people who followed baseball will remember the name Bill Veeck, but he was going to own the Angels. It would have changed things quite a bit. Walter O'Malley owned the Dodgers, and they had come 3 years earlier in 1958. He had territorial rights, and he vetoed Bill Veeck. Said, I don't want that circus coming to my town.
Wow.
And they were desperate. I guess they had already awarded the team, and they didn't even have an owner. A little different back then, right?
Yeah.
And that's where Gene Autry came in. Gene Autry had a couple of radio stations, and he said, well, I got to put some programming on my radio station, so I'll buy the Angels, and we'll put the games on. And that's how he became the owner of the Angels.
I did not know that. Like, you know what? I got a couple of radio stations I need to fill some time with. I'm going to buy the Angels.
Yeah, I wonder how much the Angels cost. It couldn't have been.
Let me see if I can find that. Angels.
I wonder how much it actually cost for not Bill Veeck, but for Gene Autry to purchase the Halos back in the day.
I'll look this up while
look it up. All right, we're going to go into the Big Five here. And are you ready?
Yeah,
Traffic?
yeah.
Okay, let's go.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by San Diego Law Firm, fighting for your sexual harassment rights at SDLF.com. Well, between stalled cars and accidents this afternoon, it's kind of a nightmare on our roads. Yeah, pick a freeway. Northbound 5 Coastline before Delmar Heights Road got a stall in the fast lane, and southbound 5 a stall right before Tamarack. That's in the center divide. South 163, an accident right before the 8 managed to get over to the right shoulder. Got this collision on South 805 before Balboa. It's over to the right shoulder. Another accident southbound 805 before 43rd. It's a clearing stage car and motorcycle involved there over to the right shoulder. Also an accident clearing from the Hotel Circle off ramp of eastbound 8, southbound 5 near the 163. An accident involving a couple vehicles there over to the right shoulder. You spoke up and suddenly your schedule changed, your hours got cut, or the pressure got worse. That's not okay. San Diego Law Firm will help you fight against sexual harassment. Contact them at SDLF.com. That's SDLF.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
I just found out how much he paid for
Gene Autry,
how much he paid for the Angels in 1961. He bought them, according to baseballbiographies.com, that he bought them for $300,000, which today is $3.2 million.
So,
but he sold it in 1997. I'm seeing two figures on this.
Okay.
One says 140 million, but most say 100 million is what he sold it for in 1997.
Got 300,000 to 100 million.
And now the team's worth over $1 billion.
If you look at my camera on the StreamYard, there's a picture from the original Angels at Palm Springs, I call your attention to the halos on the hats. Can you see them?
Yes,
Scrape?
I can.
I just love those.
It popped up with
Oh,
something.
yeah, I saw that, but I think hopefully you caught it.
No, we did. I saw it. That was
I
good.
love those hats. I don't know why we can't go back to them. Why not? Have some fun out there.
I guarantee you could buy one of those somewhere.
Oh, you can buy them, but I think the Angel. Why don't the Angels wear them?
Because I don't.
You think they're dorky now?
I think they're a little dorky.
Dick Enberg had the classic call when the bases were loaded. He would say, "There's a halo over every base."
I do
Come
like
on,
that.
Dick
That
Enberg knew
is-
what he was doing, man.
And that is why he's a broadcast legend.
And when the Angels won, the big scoreboard in left field with the big A and the halo at the top, Angels win, and the halo will shine tonight.
All right.
Come on,
I'm
those are
learning
the
a lot
glory
about the
days.
Angels
You're not
today.
gonna beat that kind of stuff.
No, I mean, an angel or a halo over every base is actually awesome.
That's pretty good, right?
That's really good.
Dick Enberg was all right.
All right.
Beyond all right.
Yes, he was beyond all right. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. I think we already said that.
Yeah.
I just want to say before we get into it, happy birthday to our guy Eric on the chat, turning 63 today. He is on the chat every single day. Pays
Thank you,
attention to
Eric.
all
and
the shows on the station.
congratulations, Eric. You're a young man.
Yes,
we
thank you,
appreciate
Eric.
you being part of the show.
Also, happy birthday to one of our faves here at Odyssey San Diego.
We couldn't do it without him. And that's
JR, our engineer. Happy 70th birthday.
J.R. Rogers. J.R. Rogers, to those in the radio community. He's look, J.R.'s been doing the radio thing for more than just about anybody.
More than I've been alive.
Yeah, he's been on the radio. He's been doing DJ work. J.R. Rogers is one of the legends in this business, in this community. And we've been lucky to have him as our lead engineer here for the last decade. Happy birthday, absolutely, to our friend J.R. And you and I had the great joy in spring training a couple years ago.
remember this.
You and me and JR went to dinner at one of those Brazilian steakhouses.
We did.
And you know what? I found somebody who can eat as much as I can.
JR was
right there with me.
Yes, I do remember that. That
Yeah.
was fun. Remember, man, we used to get sent with people to our broadcast. Now it's just me running around, my head cut off basically.
JR, congrats, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, happy birthday, JR. And here's the type of person JR is. Every time I need help, I text him or I email him and I say what's broken. He said, "Well, why'd you break it?"
Yeah,
that's what he says every single
that's
time.
his first one. Yeah.
All right, number 5.
Number 5.
Adrian Morihone, according to a tweet that I was sent by our boss Adam Klug, Adrian Morihone threw more 100-mile-an-hour pitches today than he had in all of his career. He threw 9 100 or more mile-an-hour pitches today.
Just today in a spring training game.
His entire career, 6. So,
Okay.
Chris, what is the best spot for Adrian Morihone to pitch?
Well, I think he's the 7th inning with a bunch of lefties coming up.
So situational.
Well,
can you go, Jason? Can you flip them?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I feel so comfortable with Jason Adam in the 8th inning and obviously Miller in the 9th. The other place I think Morihone might even be better than the 7th is the 5th and 6th on a day where the starter goes, 4 1/3.
Yeah.
Because I think Mortihone's good for more than 3 outs. I think he's a 5-out guy, a 6-out guy some nights. I only have one thing that drives me crazy about Morihone.
I know where
you
you
know
go.
what it is.
Yep.
Cannot feel this position.
He had an issue today.
He bungled one today.
It was a tough play, but he still didn't get the job
just
done.
not his strength. The good news is not everybody can, hit it back to him because
True.
he's so hard to hit.
Yes.
So I'm going to change my answer from 7th inning. I'm going to go 5th and 6th and kind of a middle to get us to the closer role.
That's actually exactly where I was going to go
Okay.
to. I like it because it happened a lot with Randy Vasquez last year when Mike Schitt would pull Randy Vasquez early and then Adrian Morihone would come in and he would face the lefties or whatever.
Well, what was Adrian Morihon's record last year? He won more games than
it was
just about anybody on the team. Yeah,
13 something. So
it was unbelievable. He picked up
basically his
so
role,
many wins. Yeah.
His role is when we need someone to get us to the next inning.
To get us to the next guy.
Get us to the next guy.
Perfect stretch guy.
He is. And no, he is not going to become a starter. I had a question in my my DMs. I don't believe he's going to become a starter because they would have to redo everything that he's been doing.
I don't see any reason for him to be a starter. I think he's more valuable where he is right now.
Number 4.
By the way, his record last year was 13-6. He tied Nick Pivetta for the team lead in victories.
That is crazy.
Nick Pivetta pitched 181 innings. Adrian Morejon pitched 73 innings.
It just tells you how important he was for the team last year.
Every time he was in there, they scored runs and won.
It's his final contract year too, so this is a free agent year. I think he's going to have an incredible
You know how good
season.
he was last year? Robert Suarez had a 0.90 whip. So did Adrian Morejon. Wow, that's how good he was last year.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that this year.
Real quick, Mason Miller for the Padres, 0.73 in the whip category.
I love it. I'm becoming a bigger Mason Miller fan by the day.
I almost hope he doesn't pitch tonight. I want him to save as many arm shots as he can.
I need him to close out the World Baseball Classic so we can ask him about it later this week.
All right.
I think I already hit number 4. The NBA is set to vote next week on adding expansion teams in Las Vegas and Seattle, targeting a 2028-29 start. Sources indicate strong support for taking the bids for the two franchises, and they project each team is going to cost around $7 to $10 billion for anyone who wants to own it.
So I guess that leaves Gene Autry out.
It does leave Gene Autry out.
Gene's out.
The executives, I guess, believe that both markets, Vegas and Seattle, would rank among the NBA's top 8 in revenue. So that means it's going to be very competitive bidding process for these teams. My question, and I'm up first, is do we need more NBA teams? And my answer is very simple, and I think everybody knows I'm going to say no. We do not need more teams. I'm already trying to learn the guys that are in the league. I don't need 24 more guys in the league. I feel like this is going to water it down. We all know why this is happening. It's for some money. I don't believe that this is a good move. It's going to happen, and I'm going to deal with it, but I'm not a fan of it. Chris?
I think there's plenty of talent. There's so many good players out there. I mean, honestly, now that you're including Europe, I mean, you're talking top-notch college players that are not on NBA rosters. They're playing in the G League, and they're good enough to play in the NBA. The thing that's usually keeping them is that they don't play great defense. Well, guess what? Nobody cares if you play defense in the NBA anymore. They don't let you. The rules don't even let you. So, I remember the Seattle Supersonics. I think they had great fans. They had their team pretty much ripped away from them. I don't think that was anything the fans did.
No, it's very San Diego situation.
Yeah, so I'm happy that they're getting it back. Las Vegas, just, look, we crossed that line finally, 10 years ago when we let the Golden Knights move there, and now there's baseball, and now there's football, so why not basketball? I don't think it's going to matter. I know what you're kind of saying, though, because I don't know anything about the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know anything about the whoever
Trailblazers.
Right. There's 11 teams in the NBA that I can barely name a player on the team. But I don't care if there's 13. Like, it's not going to matter to me. So, there's enough players for it. I say do it. I can't believe it's $10 billion for a team, though.
That just tells me there's no one rich enough in the world that is interested, I guess, in buying an NBA team. That just tells me investment groups.
$10 billion for an NBA team. What are NFL teams? Like $30 billion?
No,
they got to be more than
much.
10.
When was the Commanders sale? Let me see. Commanders sale. It was $6 billion for the sale of that. So
Celtics went for $6 billion. Lakers, from the Buss family to Mark Walter, $10 billion, the largest ever for a team. There you go.
All right.
But those owners of all those pro teams, none of them have any money. You ever notice that? They can't pay any salaries. They can't give anybody a raise.
I know.
They got
it's very
nothing.
sad.
Don't have a dime to their name, these people.
We should.
It really is hilarious.
We should stop down, Chris, and really recognize the billionaires that are living paycheck to paycheck in order to get our teams together.
And you know what's funny is we as fans, we all we do is criticize how much the players make. But nobody criticizes how much the owners have.
We have recently.
We do it, but most people don't.
No, got to toe that line for a lot of those people.
Yeah.
Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk reported the Rams are very interested in trading for A.J. Brown, and rumors have floated the Rams trading Davante Adams somewhere else to make this happen. Might even be the Eagles with the A.J. Brown deal. All rumors and speculation, but Chris, is A.J. Brown an upgrade over Davante Adams?
I'm going to say that age-wise, I think that's where they're big here. They're looking right. AJ
Trying
Brown's
to get younger, yeah.
Got to be younger. But before the Rams do this, they better do a deep dive. Because every time I hear anything about AJ Brown, he always seems to kind of skirt around it, but he comes up way too often for my liking.
He does come up a lot.
And I think that he is a bigger problem for the Philadelphia Eagles than he is a help. I know the guys, I wouldn't want him. I just think you can find, if you want to move on from Davante Adams because you think he's getting a little long in the tooth. And by the way, he had an incredibly good year last year.
He did. I don't understand it.
So, but if you really think that's what you got to do, look elsewhere. That would be my thing. I just don't think A.J. Brown. There's other receivers that are not going to drive you nuts.
Yeah.
Begging for the ball. I want my receiver to beg for the ball, not the way A.J. Brown does it.
No. I'm with everything that you said. I think Davante Adams is the better. He might not be physically the better player. He might not have more stats, but I think Davante Adams is a veteran wide receiver that you need on your team to make those plays, because A.J. Brown, say what you want about him, he doesn't make huge plays, Chris. We've seen him drop some pretty big passes in pretty big moments. 49ers, he catches one of those balls. 49ers probably lose that playoff game.
He won that game for you.
He did.
Being with the Eagles. He's 28. The other guy's 33. That's why.
I know. Yeah, and Davante Adams, to me, he just seems like the more he's just a safer bet.
By the way, Davante Adams is probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame. I don't think A.J. Brown's going to get even in the state of Ohio. So that's where I think that is.
Jack Hughes, the guy who scored the golden goal for Team USA.
Has he got his tooth back yet? Has somebody bought him a tooth yet?
I haven't seen him recently, but he did the interview with Pat McAfee that I was watching.
And still no tooth? Yeah.
Okay. He wants the Hockey Hall of Fame to give him the puck from his gold medal winning overtime goal in the Olympics, which is, and get this, Chris, is a Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's displayed in Toronto, which is a puck that beat the Canadians.
Right.
So,
yes.
Jack Hughes said, quote, "I'm trying to get it like that's bull bleep that the Hockey Hall of Fame has it."
Did he ever have it? Do we know the story?
No.
So he was never in possession of it.
No, because actually he was doing an interview after the game and everything.
That's right. He was an overtime goal, so he was jumping around celebrating.
So
Nobody
someone
got the
took
puck.
that, sent it to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and he never had it in his possession. So my question, I'm up first. Should he get the puck? Yes, he should get the puck. It's not the Hockey Hall of Fame's puck. He should get it. And he said, I don't collect a lot of things, but this is something I'm going to want later in life.
I think the Hockey Hall of Fame would be cool if it's there, but to me, this is an item that belongs in a 9 possession is 9/10, as they say.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I think it's Jack Hughes' goal. He scored it. He gets to choose what he wants to do with that puck.
He lost a tooth for it.
And the thing is, like, Megan Keller scored the winning for the women.
Oh, he also said she should get that.
She should get hers. They can, they can still put pictures of them and up in the Hall of Fame and, pay tribute to what they did. But I think if they want the puck and it's something that, special, I think they should have first crack at it. I do.
I really love that it's in Toronto, though.
That is pretty comical when you think about it. That he's,
when I first read it, I was like, the Hockey Hall of Fame has to be there because there's
it says it's right now. It's on display in Toronto right now.
It is, yeah. He should just go steal it.
I love the hockey players. He goes, I'm trying to get it. Like, that's bull bleep.
Yeah,
that the Hockey Hall of Fame has it. In my opinion, why would they have that puck?
He's right.
Jack, I'm with you, man.
We have a number one. It's not really that big of a deal, so maybe we do it. The Colts signed someone who's never played football in his life, so we'll talk about that maybe later.
Tony, you care to,
Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony,
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back. shortly. Harbaugh.
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
Hope he didn't. Yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower?
Well, I hope he didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City. So.
He's in New York City. It could be. You never know.
All right, we'll just go forward.
We're just going to go forward without Tony. I'm sure he'll rejoin us when he gets a moment.
Everybody stare at that box in the top right corner because it's just the corner of his room.
I'm going to look now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Oh, someone says maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know.
He's been known to go there. As have all of us, frankly, but him more than most.
Over under, Tony just forgot that he was doing the show.
That's not nice. Yeah, so maybe that's what they're thinking.
You know what just hit me, Chris?
No.
What if Tony went out to get like ice or something and he forgot his room key?
That is something
Very
that
well
he
possible.
is more than capable of doing.
Because he would never be gone this late, this long, with knowing that he was on the show.
No kidding, man. We took a commercial break like 5 minutes ago, and he has not returned.
I'm going to text him.
Like, ask him, are you out in the hall trying to get into your room right now?
Everything okay?
Oh, no. This
Question mark.
Scaring me. No. Did you hear back from Tony yet?
No, I'm thinking
something.
I'm thinking he locked himself out. He doesn't have his phone because it's in the room, so he's down at the front desk or something. I
don't know. I'm sure there's a story in here somewhere.
There's definitely got to be a
air.
story. Anyway. I was very concerned about Tony, and I took him off the screen because he's not back. I guarantee you he got locked out of his room.
I don't think you're wrong because that makes sense. But how far away is the lobby? Of course, the New York hotel, it could be one of those ones where you got to wait a while to get up to the...
And he's just sitting in line. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is.
Well, it's funny if he comes back with a funny story.
Yeah, like I locked myself out.
It's not funny if he fell and hit his head somewhere and we don't know where he is. That's not funny.
Of course, that's not funny.
He's obviously not with his phone because he hasn't gotten back to us.
Has Tony locked himself out before? Not during the show, but I'm sure he has at one point in his life.
Of all people, Tony would certainly seem to be one who would do it.
Oh, August also says, Clinton said, got to use the key card for the elevator too. So maybe he's just stuck.
Can't even get down? No, you don't need the key card to go down.
Okay.
You only need those to go up. You should be able to get down to the lobby to say, hey, I locked myself out. In New York City. But if we do, can you go to the Padre Hotel and knock on Tony's door? We don't know where he is still.
No.
Still hasn't come back.
And I turned on
It's been 20 minutes now.
I know. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Yeah. Where'd he go? What happened?
I don't know. I would call the front desk of the hotel, but I have no idea where they're staying.
I don't know where they're staying either. And when you sent him a text and said, is everything all right? We have not heard back from him. He is still not back in his room.
I bet you he is standing in line in the lobby as we speak.
I'm trying to get his key back.
Someone said text Jesse or Dave. And
it's really not a bad idea. Maybe at the next break, though.
Yes.
If we get to the next break, we got to text those guys so that they can go make sure he's okay. Because I don't know where he is. It's crazy.
Dave Marcus is probably the one to text.
We'll text Dave.
Because he's, Jesse could be doing anything, but Dave's always there, ready to go.
You're trying to say Dave has a ho-hum life and he'd just be sitting around waiting for a text, whereas Jesse might be busy? Is that what you're...
Dave's been doing this job for like 30 years. I don't think what is the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
All right. Well, there's certainly an explanation, but we don't have it yet.
Text Scan. I don't know Scan well enough to text him.
We're going to text Dave if this gets to the top of the hour, and we still don't have a Tony Gwynn Jr. sighting. All right, do we just go to traffic like it's normal behavior time? I mean, it just seems weird.
We got to move on with the show.
Show must go on?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the really, really weird and ugly next here after traffic. It's with less enthusiasm than usual that we embark on the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 2, Skrabe.
I'm going to try not to worry too much.
I'm going to try not to worry also. I'm not necessarily the worrying type.
I'm not either.
But, I'm intrigued now at this point. Like it's with this long pass to Devontae Smith.
He's back.
Helped put him there.
Hold on. He's back, everybody.
Stop everything.
I literally, we went
concert before the first pitch of a baseball game to get you riled up. Me neither. Don't care for all of that. I know they're trying to make a big deal out of it. It's the championship of the World Baseball Classic tonight. USA Venezuela, it's going to start once they get all of this stuff off the field and get these people to stop singing and dancing.
Was it last year? I can't remember what we were watching, but they went to, was it the All-Star game where they went to an in-game concert during the game?
I think it was the All-Star game this year.
They stopped it.
They stopped the game for a concert. And the Jonas Brothers in the right field stand sang a song, and they said, "Okay, we can go back and play again." We're like, "What the hell just happened?"
Strange.
Look, the NFL Super Bowl halftime has gone beyond to where we just kind of accept that that's going to be part of it all. Okay.
Yes.
But now every other sport, I think, thinks they have to do that, and they just don't.
They don't. You're right. I don't understand. It's like, why? Why do you have to be like every?
Yeah, because I'm gonna throw some crazy name. Because Jelly Roll sings a song. Game 7 of the NBA Finals does not become more important.
Yeah, we don't need Jelly Roll every single sporting event now.
The game itself should be important, and it is. And tonight's game is important, and it is. So we don't need all these histrionics, but we're having them. Look, if you're trying to get home to watch the game, they're giving you plenty of time to get home. I don't know when they'll ever start this game.
Your guy Luis Ariz is carrying the Venezuelan flag out.
All right, leave me out of that with the
I'm
Rise.
not making. I was just saying.
Aaron
Judge
looks like the flag he's carrying looks like a toothpick.
It does. He was walking in a Team USA hockey jersey, a real hockey jersey, and it fit him.
He was fit. It fit him. You know what I always think of with Aaron Judge? I know it's kind of silly, but he played at Fresno State. I mean, they were right over here playing the Aztecs, weekend series. There were 12 people in the stands watching this guy play. Nobody had an idea that's Aaron Judge, right? He was here all the time.
How many of us would want to go back and watch Aaron Judge?
Right. If you knew it was Aaron Judge, you'd be like, man, we're going to go to the Aztec game this weekend.
Cole says, why must everything be a bleeping spectacle?
Yeah,
have someone sing the anthem, show the players, and let's play ball.
Agreed. Cole, I'm with you. It's why now Cole, and you already know, but Cole knows for sure now why I watch games on what, Skrabe?
DVR.
The DVR, because I don't have to watch any of this stuff. I just go zzz. If I see one thing that maybe looks a little interesting to me, I can pause it and watch it, but none of this interests me. I want to see the first pitch of the game is what I want.
Well, let's talk baseball real quick because they're showing the Venezuelan manager. I believe his name is Omar Cruz.
I don't mind the lineups and the guys lined up on the field. That's okay. I've always enjoyed that.
I'm sorry, Omar Cruz. Omar Lopez.
All right.
2 tweets. Bill Shakin from LA. We know him.
Mm-hmm.
Venezuelan manager Omar Lopez said he got text messages from 3 organizations this morning asking him not to use pitchers he used last night. Bob Nightingale saying, quote from Omar Lopez, I woke this morning 3 text messages from different organizations trying not to pitch guys back to back. Apparently he called them back, trying to convince them to change their mind. So he may be running into some bullpen issues here.
Who was the one who reported the second part of that?
Nightingale.
I love him, but he's not always right.
I know.
I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully the juggling of the pitching won't be the thing that decides this game. But I think it very well may be. I don't know that the Venezuela team's going to have enough to keep the Americans at bay for 9 innings.
They did it weird because is it just so they have a game on 3 nights in a row?
You're saying they could have taken a day off and played the final game
both
tomorrow.
of the games on Sunday. I know it didn't line up that way because Venezuela played on Saturday, so they had to wait till Monday.
Right. They liked it. They wanted to alter the game, but you're right. This is unfair to Venezuela. They didn't get a day off. The U.S.
their
did.
bullpen isn't good.
That really is a little unfair. I got to say.
Thank you.
Got to say.
Thank you.
By the way, if you're wondering, Padre fans, Manny Machado and Fernando, now that their team has been eliminated, apparently they're like hitchhiking across the country to get back to Peoria because they're not expected until like Thursday or Friday.
I honestly didn't expect
what are they doing?
Because Wednesday's the day off. I didn't expect them back on Tuesday. But Thursday, and if they're not ready for Thursday, though,
let's go.
They have private jets, I'm sure, or they could get on a plane.
They do. Of course they do.
We need them back in camp.
They could have been back 45 minutes after the last pitch on Sunday night.
Now, I can understand that Manny maybe wanted to go home and sleep in his house or his bed for 2 nights.
I get it
rest.
all, but you know what? We're paying you handsomely to be a Padre.
Not for spring training games, Chris.
It's all part of the package. Speaking of spring training, Craig Stammen today asked about the performance of one German Marquez. If you just tuned in, Marquez, I said it earlier, it was kind of a do or die start for him today. Maybe he wasn't told the same thing, but the way he'd been pitching, you felt like he had to show something today. Well, 5 innings, he allowed 3 runs, but 9 strikeouts. And the only walk he had was overturned on an ABS review by 0.6 of an inch. So anyway, I thought Marquez looked pretty good. What did Craig Stammen think of him today, Skrabe?
What'd you think of German today?
Yeah, good bounce back outing for German. Had the breaking balls going, threw 2 good changeups, good velocity on the fastball. So overall, great outing for him. I know he had a few punch outs, 8 or 9, something like that. Got through 5 innings. Pretty darn good outing.
What about Matt Waldron?
Yeah, good to see him back out there. 2 good innings from him. No, we gave up a run in that first inning, but, showed really good stuff up to 95, good knuckleball, mixed in 2-seamer, sweepers. So another great outing. Good to see him back out there.
I know having to miss almost a month from Cactus League action wasn't the way that you guys wanted to draw it up for him. How does he, in a general sense, sort of fit into the competition picture right now, considering where he's at pitch-wise, build-up-wise?
Yeah, probably not in the mix as like 4 or 5 starter to begin the season, but definitely a mix to be on our pitching staff throughout the year. So what we're seeing was what we like right now from him. He's pitching great. He had a great offseason. Got that velo up, and he's showing off right now, and it's looking really good.
How was Laureano? Was that just precautionary, the exit?
Yeah, 7 innings, 6 innings, whatever it was, get him out of the game. It's hot.
Yeah, where did that hit him?
Right in the back.
Right in the back. Okay. And Marion, where did that get him?
But.
That's what I thought. Good thing the ground stopped. It was 1
Castellanos, home run today, makes another really nice play at first base. Does that continue him at first base to progress in a pretty impressive way so far?
Yeah, today we wanted to, he wanted to get as many reps as possible. Got him 9 innings at first base, played the whole game, full pull, first guy to do that all spring. So he gets an award for that. But played great first base today, did his job, and then, came up with a big homer at the end, or, later in the game that kind of, got us back in the game and took the lead. So good at bats from him. Good play at first base. He's a 12-year big leaguer, so it's kind of what we expect from him, veteran.
All right, Craig Stammen there. By the way, the one part that you might not have heard, Ramon Laureano got hit in the back by a pitch from Andres Munoz. Precautionary, Stammen said he came out of the game. And then I didn't hear who got hit in the butt, but somebody got hit in the butt.
Morejon got a comebacker.
Morejon got a cut. Well, that's what he knocks it down with instead of his glove.
Yeah, he used his butt.
I told you Morejon's not a great fielder. Castellanos, look, the home run today was more important than just a home run because to me it was, it's off their closer, Munoz. The game was in the 6th inning, but that's when Munoz was pitching today.
He's still pitching.
Right. You go deep against a closer, it means more than going deep against a guy who's going to be in Double-A, I think. Look, Castellanos has made this team. I think it's been been nothing but a thumbs up for him. He's played pretty well at first base. We'll see how it goes in the regular season. The one thing I think you can say for sure, Skraby, is that the signing of Castellanos will in no way go down as, one of those things that just didn't work.
Yeah.
I think it's worked. And, by all accounts, not that we should be surprised. He's a good guy. Everybody said he's a good guy. I don't know what it was. They didn't care for him in Philly. And remember, we had a Philadelphia guy on. He said, you guys can have him. He's quirky for sure. I'll give you the quirky. Kevin Acey, what does a fresh start seem like? That's a fresh start. My favorite answer of the spring. But he's quirky. But I haven't seen anything that, I don't care for. And I don't think the Padres have seen anything like that. So
I agree. I think maybe Philly fans started to get on Nick Castellanos'
maybe
case.
that was just too long of a relationship.
I
there.
think so.
So Castellanos, I think, is for sure in there. Castellanos, Camposano did not play today. If you're wondering, Freddie Fermin, by the way, is up to 12. 1185 on his OPS this year in spring. So Freddie's done okay.
He has done really well.
The backup catcher Duran had a 2-run homer today. I know we would have much rather seen that be Camposano, but Camposano's going to get one of those bench spots. We know this is going to happen. I think Bryce Johnson just continues to lock it in, Skraby, for the third bench spot. He had a hit today, he had a walk today, he stole a base today. He just gives you too many things that you don't have and you need. So to me, in my way of looking at it, you've got 8 days to find one more player on this roster. I mean, we know the starting 9. That's not changing. Andujar's the 9th guy at DH, so I put Castellanos as a bench. I put Camposano as a bench, and I put Bryce Johnson as a bench. And then I go between, I'm cheating. I want Ty France.
Yeah.
Because I have a little favor for him. But Jose Miranda, who's been, he's up at the 961 OPS range.
325 average.
Yeah. France has hit 325 also, and 872 OPS, and Ty hit a homer today. And he's a Gold Glove winner, and he plays first, and he plays third, and he can play second. I think those two guys are in a really close battle there.
I won't ever understand.
And then you can't totally leave out Jace Bowen. I mean, if you saw this home run he hit today off the batter's eye at the top of the stadium and straight center field, I mean, he annihilated it.
449.
Oh, it was crushed. So, I know that Stammen says he needs some little seasoning, so he's going to go down probably and get it, but he's knocking on the door right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it's going to come down to. Am I leaving anyone out who could get Mason McCoy? I don't think so.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we already know he's going to be like a spot start guy.
The other two, here's the other two names, Will Wagner and then Seung-Min Song, but they're both hurt.
Yeah.
And I think it'd almost be beneficial for them to open on the injured list because that gives you more spots on the roster.
Yeah.
But I think that's your ball club. I don't think there's a lot else to be determined between now and opening day on that part of it. There's plenty to be determined still on who the rotation is going to be.
Yeah. Here's my question for the Skraby show tonight, and you can answer it now because we got a couple minutes.
Okay.
Do they have, as it sits right now, enough depth? I said enough, but enough depth.
Yes. And here's my reasoning. They only have 13 players. They have 13 pitchers and 13 players. You're asking me if they have depth like on the everyday roster.
Yeah, I'm saying like overall.
So you're asking me the other. I think, what I've seen from Bowen makes me feel better. What I've seen from his name's escaping. He's got all the RBIs.
In
spring,
Schnell.
Arabian, or you know what I mean?
Arabian, that's a horse. I drive by Del Mar sometimes, and they have an Arabian horse place, and I see that sign all the time.
It's sad. I used to make fun of my dad for getting names, but now I'm right there with
Romeo Sanabria.
Sanabria, that's a close. Isn't that terrible? How much I missed it by. But Sanabria has given me some hope. Nick Schnell has given me some hope. Samad Taylor has given me some hope.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen some guys behind the guys who are going to be on the bench that I think are going to be there if needed. They all, I think Nick Solak performed well.
Nick Solak, you're right.
All of them have performed really well. So, yeah, I think they do.
Okay.
I don't, I told you yesterday I'm worried about that the starting pitching is going to not be good.
If there is something to worry about right now, it is starting pitching. It's funny how things change throughout spring training. Before it was we were worried about depth.
And the bottom line is, if Tony were here and he's not, he would say it doesn't matter. It's funny that it doesn't matter, but you can't tell me it doesn't matter, because if Germán Marquez would have given up 8 runs today and 7 home runs, he could have picked up his gear and driven off into the sunset.
They would have had it packed for him.
Right. So it's got to matter some.
At this point in spring training, it has to, because they've now taken their roster down to 51 players. So now you're getting to the guys that are trying to get on this opening day roster.
Yeah.
And so it matters now. And the more home runs Gavin Sheets in the last maybe week of the season hit 4 or 5 home runs, put him on the team.
He's got 2 now in spring. He hit 1 today. So did Bogey hit a home run today.
I'm a little worried about Gavin Sheets' slow start, but I read something about from Kevin Acee saying that he's been looking to walk more in spring training, and he now leads the Padres in spring training in walks. So maybe that's a good thing, Chris.
I think you get rid of Ramon Laureano. He struck out 14 times in 28 at-bats.
That is a lot.
I'm joking.
Oh, I was going to say.
It really doesn't. That really, to me, doesn't mean anything. Look, the established guys who've already shown they're going to be there. The reason I brought my whole harangue yesterday up about some of the starting pitching numbers is because these are guys that are all trying to make the team.
Yes.
And they weren't doing enough to make the team.
Correct.
Marquez improved his stock today. Walker Buehler, I think, solidified his stock yesterday.
I think he did too. And you should go listen to these Walker Buehler interviews that Sam does, or the media scrum, because he actually knows a lot about pitching. Like,
I would hope
he knows. Some of these guys are just, athletes. They just pitch. Walker Buehler knows everything. Like he knows what he did wrong and what he needs to do to fix it. And him and Ruben together, Ruben Niebla, the pitching whisperer, excites me for this season.
Who's had the guts, if anybody, yet to ask Walker Buehler about the tightness of his pants? Anybody?
I don't think so. I never even
You're
thought
not going to do it, are you? If we interview him Thursday or Friday, come on, you're not doing that.
He seems like, you
think you'd get a laugh out of it?
In the videos that I've been watching, he seems like he may chuckle a little bit and be like, yeah, I've heard about that.
Do you remember who was the player that I threw something at them in a similar vein? Oh, I know who it was. It was Matt Carpenter when I asked him about, hey, you got through this whole interview without anybody talking about your mustache. And he goes, you just did.
You just did.
Yeah. All right.
And we interviewed Matt Carpenter thinking, oh, this is going to be great. Matt Carpenter's going to hit 30 home runs this year.
It would have been cool. All right. We'll be at spring training for our shows Thursday and Friday. If you're wondering about the World Baseball Classic, I don't think they're even playing it tonight. I think they're just going to have a party and maybe take the field tomorrow sometime. Gwynn and Chris continues after traffic.
From the
first pitch of the game, Nolan McLean threw a heater down the middle. Ronald Acuna hit a heater right back through the middle for a single. Quote, Matt Skraby and Chris Ello. That's it. Nolan McLean sucks. What are we doing?
I said he's going to lose this game for the Americans.
Mark DeRosa's an idiot. Next pitch was a double play. Next pitch, I think, was a pop out. Inning is over. Americans coming to bat in the bottom of the first.
I wear my emotions on my sleeves when Team USA playing, Chris.
Yeah, right. You have a long history of rooting for Team USA. How many times did you say in a normal 49er game?
Oh, gosh.
Normal game. And I'm talking about a game that's, you're not playing the Falcons or something. You're playing a game that's a tough, game.
Okay.
It could go either way. Going into the game, it's going to be a back and forth affair.
Mm-hmm.
How many times would you say during the course of a game, I'm talking about after a first down, after a fumble, after whatever, how many times did you say to yourself, that's it, we're not winning this game?
It's really funny you say that. Because
you know what I mean? Like in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, whatever.
During the playoff game, I'll take
it?
this, Chris. The Eagles 49ers playoff game from this year.
Right.
Brock Purdy threw a late interception. I immediately, game's over.
Game over.
Game's over. And I fully believed it too.
I think we all do that.
If game's over. And then they get it back and I get back into the game. And then there was another turnover. And I was like, now that is game over.
That's game over.
And it wasn't.
Right. Because A.J. Brown was there to save you and drop all the passes when it mattered the most.
I can't see you. Oh, I can see you giving up, not giving up, but saying game over. But
I mentally give up.
Okay.
But I don't say a whole lot.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't say a whole lot when I watch an important game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like
I also watch it.
See that.
I also watch it usually on DVR, and my wife is usually not there. Although sometimes she is, and when she is, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the team that I most loudly complain and give up on the most. The Aztecs men's basketball team. When there's a bad call in one of those games, I flip out, man. Everything just lows. What?
Out, man.
Those are the games that get me.
Yeah,
Miles Bird, what are you doing? That kind of thing.
I've seen you. I've watched a couple of Aztec games with you, and you do
Aztec
lose your
men's
mind.
basketball, I go a little cray-cray.
You do lose your mind a little bit.
Yeah, NBA, NFL, much calmer. All right, we got Mark Zeigler. Speaking of the Aztecs men's basketball team, how many guys are going to be coming back next year? If anybody knows, it would be Zeigler. Also, if you haven't heard, Snapdragon Stadium is going to be front and center for soccer in the Olympics, even more so than we thought. Those items and more after a break.
Ben and Woods.
All right, welcome back. 5:34. I don't think I'm on yet. You're pushing buttons.
Go ahead, Chris. You're now live.
Things I do deal with here. Venezuela, nothing. U.S., nothing. Nolan McLean just threw a curveball that locked up Gleyber Torres, and wow, that was something.
We're back in the game, Chris.
I think we're okay after that
game.
leadoff single by Acuna. No score, top of the second of the WBC final. NCAA play-in game. It's pretty much been a Howard game the whole way. Right now, 79-72 over Maryland, Baltimore County, 3:47 to play in that one. The winner plays Michigan, by the way.
Good luck.
And speaking of Michigan, both Skraby and I have them going to the Final Four. We didn't give you our Final Four picks yet,
No,
but
we can do that right now.
it is very strange. Before we listen to Mark Zeigler, we did our picks completely separate of each other, did not talk to each other, did not ask each other anything. I typed your picks into my web. ESPN keeps track of it all, so I just put my picks in, then I put your picks in, I put my wife's in, and that way I know how everyone's doing. You and I in the first round, 32 games. We picked the same team 31 games out of 32.
Whoa, that's crazy.
The only difference that I saw off the top of my, typing them in was you picked St. Louis in the 8-9 matchup. You picked Georgia. I picked St. Louis.
Yeah. The Billikens.
All 31 of the other games, same upsets, same everything.
That's wild.
Final Four, we both picked Michigan. This makes no sense to me, but we both picked Wisconsin, a 5 seed.
Yeah.
I did it. You did it. Totally separate. Nick Boyd did not have any influence that I know of on you.
Well, he's just playing great.
Other than he's playing great. Yeah, the former Aztec. But we both like Wisconsin for some reason. Now, that means Arizona would not make it.
Yep.
So that would be the upset there.
Arizona does fall out.
Not much. They lost 2 games this year.
Yeah,
that's it. They're pretty good.
And they were back-to-back games.
They were back-to-back games, and they've come back since then. On the other side, we both have Duke. I think most people are going to have Duke. Just feel like they're kind of steady all the time. So we agree on 3 of our 4 Final Four, which means that none of those are going to happen.
Probably.
Because we both agreed. And then the one we disagree is the 4th bracket.
The South.
The South. That is the one where Florida is number 1. Neither of us have Florida going back after winning it last year, but I had Houston advancing to the Final Four. You have Illinois advancing to the Final Four. Those are the only difference we have in our Final Four picks. So I think that's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
But we'll see how it all turns out. It's kind of getting underway a little tonight, but obviously Thursday is the first full day. And I got to tell you, Skraby, that's always one of my favorite days of the year. When you just wake up at 9 o'clock and they just start having games all day until like 10 at night. And there's a final score, then a new game, then a final score, then an overtime, then a this, and then you're scratching your bracket and you're upset and you're happy. And anyway, I always think the first day of the tournament's a lot of fun. That'll be Thursday.
Someone on the chat, Smash, says Duke has 2 major injuries. I do know that. But they've looked really good this year.
Duke is still Duke. Who's going to beat them? I mean, UConn has been flailing away.
St. John's maybe.
St. John's could beat them. I'd say one thing, we got a pretty good deal here in San Diego. I mean, we get Arizona playing here.
Mm-hmm.
We get Kansas playing here.
Yeah.
And we get St. John's playing here. I was going to make a Rick Pitino joke, but probably better than to just leave
We've
that
already
alone.
done my island jokes today, so
Yeah,
we need to. We've already filled our quota.
Yeah, I was going to tell all restaurant restaurant hostesses to be on the lookout.
Yes.
Pitino's coming to town. Oh, goodness. All right, let's check traffic, and then our earlier visit with Mark Zeigler. You'll get the latest on the Aztec basketball prospects.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Creative Repipe. Finally starting to see some improvements out here. Get a chance to cleanse my palate. Southbound side of the 5, we saw this accident on the Garnett off-ramp. It's over the right shoulder. Also an accident on the Grape Street on-ramp to southbound 5. Improvements along southbound 805. Accident cleared near Balboa. And looks like southbound side of the 163, that accident cleared up right before the 8. South 15 cleared an accident just before the 8. And westbound side of the 8, accident cleared just past the 805. Don't wait till that water leak in your home becomes a flood. Call Creative Repipe for whole house repipes. Get a 20% discount plus a lifetime warranty. Free estimates with financing available. Visit creativerepipe.com. That's creativerepipe.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Let's move on to the soccer story you wrote today, Mark, before we get to the Aztecs. This is really great. You wrote it yourself. You said, look, when we heard that some of the Olympics would be played at Snapdragon, we never thought that we would get this many matches and some important matches as well. So this has turned into a big deal.
Yeah, I think probably what happened is the U.S. women said, you know what, we don't want to travel the country. We do that enough. We want to be on the West Coast. And I think a lot of the athletes too are like, we want to be close to the action. Yeah. If you're in Columbus or Nashville or New York, you're not going to have an Olympic experience. So for some athletes, particularly whatever group the U.S. is in, I think what we'll see is the U.S. women will be here for the group stages, and they'll just probably drive down from L.A. and go back and train up there and be around the Olympics and all that, and they'll come down here for the matches. And then in the quarter, semis, and final, they'll go up to the Rose Bowl, assuming they win their group. But yeah, the whole schedule got redone. It was initially like, oh, we've got the schedule done. We're just going to add a couple games here and there. No, they redid the whole thing and gave San Diego 11 games. No one else was getting more than 9. So that's a compliment to Snapdragon, what they think of it, what they think of the city, the venue, the soccer community here. It's a huge feather in everyone's cap. It's going to be really cool.
For sure. And, we are getting, I think the whole soccer community here, Mark, has grown beyond my wildest expectations. I know we have a lot of soccer fans. Everybody's always said that. But, we had the Wave come in here, and I think they made some nice inroads. And now, obviously, what San Diego FC is doing and continues to do, and now, doing it in the CONCACAF Champions Cup and having a chance to advance again. And now with the matches coming down here, this is really, it's exceeded what I thought it would do in this short of amount of time.
Yeah, and the other thing to remember is we used to be a soccer city because Mexico would come here every single year and play some kind of friendly game on a Wednesday night in a game that every now and then they played like a Gold Cup where it was a meaningful game, but it was just sort of a friendly game, and they would come close to or sell out Qualcomm all the time. Yeah. And when they built Snapdragon, that was one of the big drawbacks about building a smaller stadium. Some people said, oh, because we want to maybe one day have an NFL team here again. But the other thing, the more realistic and the more impactful thing is you weren't going to get Mexico because it's, or as often at least, because it wasn't big enough, and they can go to a 70,000 seat stadium and sell it out. And so we kind of lost that, and it's cool to see that all this other soccer's come back in that void and filled it all and then some. So it's been a great, it's been great for the soccer community. These people are in heaven. Trust me. I know a lot of them, and they're just like, oh, this is great.
This is great for soccer. All right. So this is the hardest question in the world, and I'm sure you're getting it from me and everybody and you're getting texts and emails, and the question is, who are the Aztecs going to keep? Who are they going to lose? But instead of answering that, try to give us some idea of what not playing in the NIT actually does for the Aztec program. Does it give Dutch a chance to get a better feel for what kids are going to do? And can we just assume that by not doing the NIT thing, it is because we want to focus every attention on next year?
That's part of it. There are other issues. Obviously, the team's banged up. So there was an injury factor. There was a venue factor. They can't play in VS Arena because the NCAA tournament is there this week. They'd have to rent out an arena like the women are doing. And then there's a pride part of it too. I think this program considers itself above the NIT in the NIT's current form. The NIT 5 years ago and the NIT now are two different tournaments. And as another guy in the Mountain West from a school that is not in the tournament and not in the NIT said, there are 5 Mountain West schools in the NIT this year said, look, we just played in the Mountain West tournament. We don't want to play in it again.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a little bit of that as well.
Right.
But yes, from a logistical standpoint, look, they were meeting already today with players and having exit meetings. And it's a little bit of a process. You know, the transfer portal doesn't open until after the Final Four. So you think, oh, well, they got some more time, but realistically, all these decisions are being made now. But it's so layered. And talking with Brian Dutcher today, both on and off the record, it's so layered and complicated and nuanced that it's a really complicated process. Yeah, you meet with your players, but then you have to decide, okay, do we want them? Do we not? Do they want to be here? Do they not? And then it's at what price? And then it's at what price within our budget. Yeah. And so you've got to figure out all these things. There's so many, it's three-dimensional chess. There's so many plates in the air and, you know, moving pieces and all those, you know, however you want to compare it. But it's, it's a complicated process and it's going to take time. And I think they'd much rather be watching film of players for next year than watching film of an opponent in a meaningless tournament.
Isn't that crazy? It's just crazy.
Mark Zeigler joins us on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bang banking. It's better. By the way, while you guys were chatting there, I got a text message of a fish tie from Don Nelson, and it is incredible. It is like a bright pink fish tie that he's
salamander tie or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's great.
Oh, he was the best, man.
Yeah. So Brian Dutcher has obviously had better seasons, and I can't consider a 22-win season a terrible season. But what do you think Brian Dutcher, you know, if he sits down 5 years from now, what do you think he's going to reflect upon during this year? Was it that he couldn't get the consistency? What do you think is going to keep him up at night?
I mean, you know, it's a tough question to answer. The more I've been thinking about it a lot, the more you think about it. And I think he's the type of person, they preach next play. I think they just move on. I think they've already moved on from this past season.
Yeah.
Now he did say he's going to, you know, he does this every year, but he after, you know, the way things are changing, he's going to reevaluate every aspect of the program and maybe make some changes based on their experiences this year, whether that's the way they recruit, the way they schedule, the way they play, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, the thing about it is you look at last year, you look at this year, and you look at the metrics, it's almost identical. I mean, it's scary how there's a couple key metrics where it was exactly identical or one off from last year. And so, I mean, the big difference in their resume is they didn't have a marquee win. Last year they had Houston. And they beat Houston, people forget, at a time when Houston was kind of flailing around. They lost a few games. Kelvin Sampson wasn't really happy with them. They were trying to put things together. And then they kind of did, and they made that run in March. But they didn't have that. But that's really the only difference in the metrics. I think the bigger thing, and he talked about this a lot, is that this team in past years would have been good enough to get into the NCAA tournament. But the way the gap between the power conferences and the mid-majors has grown exponentially in the last 2 years, and particularly this year, it's not good enough. There just aren't as many spots. I mean, you know, it wasn't long ago that there were 10 at-large berths for mid-majors, and now there's 4, and that ties the record low. And it's been 2 straight years of that.
Yeah, you brought this
up. So
up.
there's just fewer spots.
Yeah.
And I think that's when he looks at it. Yes, there were injuries. Yes, the 11-man rotation was problematic. Yes, they had a couple close games that could have gone either way. The Troy loss, you know, the Grand Canyon loss, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, they're competing for fewer spots, and their margin of error is smaller.
Mark Zeigler's with us. NCAA tournament getting underway tonight. Last year, I think at this time we were getting ready to play North Carolina, and that's not exactly a great memory, I must say. All right, Mark, it's hard to pin it. I know seniors, we don't. Sean Newman's done, right? Jeremiah Oden Sr. and Dixon Waters. Okay, so those 3 we don't have to worry about. B.J. Davis is junior, Miles Bird Jr., Miles Heidi Jr., and then you got, my God, DeGorville and Guath are sophomores. Farrell Compton. I've heard people say they don't think anybody could be back. Could we have that big of a turnover, and how crazy would that be?
I mean, I could see anything from, I think 3 or 4 are for sure gone.
Really?
I could see, you know, the remaining 3, I could see all of them come back. I could see none of them come back. And that's what it's going to, you know, this is sort of really delicate dance in the next few weeks is going to happen because, you know, the coaches are not going to commit to players right now because they're going to see what else is out there, how much money they have, how much money they can commit to them. And the players probably aren't going to commit 100% either because their agents are out there. And like Brian Dutcher had a great line today. He goes, look, the portal doesn't open until August 7th. He goes, everybody's in the portal. If you have an agent, you're in the portal. They're all talking. And so both sides are kind of talking. And then as we get closer and closer to April 7th, they'll kind of become a critical mass and people are going to have to make a decision. And that's when decisions will start being made about who's staying and who's going. But I mean, if you look at their roster, you have Farrell Compton and Miles Heide. I can't see them keeping both guys. It was sort of a frustrating rotation. Neither sort of maximized what people thought they would get out of them for different reasons. They're different kind of players, but neither of them really are great shooters or threats on the perimeter. I think in this modern game, you need to have a big guy who can shoot. And so if one wants to stay, then they maybe don't keep the other. So there's a lot of moving parts in that regard. I think Miles Bird is probably gone, sort of like Nick Boyd, Keyshawn Johnson, Lamont Butler, guys who graduated from San Diego State and had an extra year,
right,
and then used it somewhere else. So I think
as Dutcher said about Lamont Butler, he went to school here for 4 years and played pro 1 year at Kentucky.
And he said that today. He goes, he might go play pro for a lot of money at another college.
Same thing, yeah.
And then Magoon Guas, he was paid a lot of money. I don't know exactly the figure, but he was the highest paid player. I think it's fair to say. Are they going to be able to invest that kind of money into him? And probably the answer is no. And if the answer is no, he's going to probably get a bigger offer somewhere else, and maybe he goes and takes it.
Yeah.
The most interesting one to me of all those guys is BJ Davis. I could see that thing going either way. I can see him having a huge value in the open market because his ability to create shots, have some big game shooting. He's a pretty good on-ball defender. He's going to be a veteran guard. I could see some really big programs coming after him after seeing what, the kind of season Lamont Butler had and then Nick Boyd had. I could see people coming after him for just too much money to pass up. But I also feel like his family is really, really grounded. There may be something about graduating from the university you started at, value there for his family and for him. So that one is going to be interesting to me. But I think, you're going to see 3, 4, maybe 5 guys go.
All right, I got less than 30 seconds. With Gonzaga at the top, can we legitimately contend for a title now that we're going to the Pac-12 under the circumstances, the way the game is now?
Well, if Gonzaga still has the budget that they have right now and they're going to get a full football share, the answer is probably no, because they're going to have 2 times, 3 times as much money. But I think it's going to be a little bit of an advantage not being the big dog in a conference. Because remember, every time San Diego State goes on the road in the Mountain West, it's the biggest game of the season. Target on their back. They get the best shot from everybody. They don't ever get a B+ or a B- effort ever. And I think they'll get a few of those next year because it's going to be all about Gonzaga. Gonzaga. When are they coming? That's our big game. That's our orange out at Colorado State. That's our big white out, blue out, green out, whatever it's going to be. And San Diego State will be, a big deal, but not as big a deal. And I think they could probably benefit from that. Maybe that gets them a win or 2 more, and those are the kind of things that get you in the NCAA tournament. So I don't think it's all bad, but they'll be the big dog in the tournament unless the finances and regulations change in college sports, but they're going to have way more money.
All right, send me a couple of dates and a golf course somewhere. Skraby and I are going to at least take you for a golf day. If you haven't played with Zeigler, he's really good, by the way, Skrabe.
Okay.
But I think we gotta pay for you around somewhere good, Zeigler. You've been so good to us. I like playing golf with you. So send me some days and we'll get this done.
Who's better, you or Skraby?
He's better.
I would never say
he's better, but I have more spectacular shots. But let me
tell you this. Chris has great old man golf game.
Oh, stop it.
Which is slow and steady, 200 yards down the fairway.
Stop it.
Doesn't lose his golf balls.
He's played near me. He knows what I can do. But Skraby's better. He's been doing it longer. But anyway, let's do that.
How about T? Is T good or not?
No. Well, and I'm not knocking T.
Oh, that's just an emphatic no.
That was quick. That was quick.
Where does his tee shot go, Skraby?
His tee shot, when he connects, it's a great tee shot. But when he does it, it's about 500 yards to the left or right.
Yeah. He's a lefty,
and
you got to get out of the way when Tony swings. Got to get out of the way. All right, we owe you one, though, so let's make that happen.
That's a good idea.
We'll talk to you soon, Z. Thanks.
All right, we'll talk to you guys.
All right, Mark Zeigler wrapping things up here. But I'm leaving. Skraby's not. He's got the Chronicles coming up. Venezuela just snuck a run in the top of the third. Mikel Garcia with the sac fly that followed a wild pitch, which moved the runners into scoring position. So USA coming up in the bottom of the third, down 1-0. Howard 86, Baltimore County 83. 5 seconds left. Maybe Maryland can pull it out. Skraby will let you know in the Chronicles. I'll talk to you tomorrow from Peoria. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Wait, I got to see this last shot. 2 seconds, 1 second. He's for the tie.
Good luck.
It was almost our first March Madness moment. We'll see you tomorrow.